Duck, duck, goose, musical chairs. We'll have some things moving around throughout the week. But Kyle and I, it's the traditional, it's the classic today. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. And there's so much. There's just so much. And, people will say to me, Allen, 4 hours. Oh, my goodness. How do you do it? I said, well, first, I have a really good producer in Kyle Ledbetter. But second, there's always something to talk about. And, oh, my goodness, from when you think there's already a lot. We had the Jake Fisher information that came out. And by the way, this is no dig at Jake Fisher. He does a wonderful job. For Bleacher Report, he does a wonderful job at the Stein Line. Jake Fisher did not tell anybody that listens to this show. I don't know about any other show, okay? And I can even say this station. I don't know about anywhere else. But if you've been listening to the Allen Stiles Show, Jake Fisher did not tell you anything that you didn't already know, okay? When it comes to the availability of some of these players. And to that end, what Carmichael Dave went on to say, as far as, well, nobody is technically untouchable. Keegan literally cannot be moved, so technically he is untouchable until the end of the season. But nobody is untouchable. So you had Carmichael Dave adding on to that. But if you've been listening to the Allen Stiles Show, you already knew a lot of what Jake Fisher had said. So you know what? That's from the national standpoint. It is what it is. He did have some interesting notes about the Heat and Domantas Sabonis that we are going to get into. So that already happened, right? Then I get a text from Kyle. So I'm getting ready this morning, and we had to take baby number 2 in for her 2-month checkup. You know
Everything
what I mean?
Good?
Yeah, good. She got her shots. She's all good to go. And she's probably just she's nothing like number 1. She doesn't cry as much. She just kind of chills. She's like my wife, and number 1 is like me. We're just two completely different people here. So I'm running around. We're getting ready to put her in the car seat. I get a text from Kyle Ledbetter, okay? And you know what that text says? Amick banger. And that's exactly what it was. We get a Sam Amick heater where he is not just letting us know what's going on, as he so eloquently does anyway. Sam Amick sat down with Scott Perry. So I'm going through this. We're continuing to go through it here on the show because it came out this morning and we were running around. But I'm going through this. I'm thinking, oh, my goodness. As he lays out what the trade value is, Kyle Ledbetter and I, talking about Zack Lavine. Kyle had some great notes, not to get into the tax thing, but how the idea of Zack Lavine accepting the player option or picking up his player option is not as cut and dry as we all thought. And there are legitimate reasons why it wouldn't be. Right? Now, you already had Brandon Ayuk walk away from $25 million. Could Zack Lavine walk away from $47-49 million? Obviously, he's only doing that if something else is on the table because somebody else is going to pay this man. But when you look at, not to get into it again, but when you look at $47 million in California versus $35 million a year for 3 years in Florida or Texas, maybe that might make more sense to young Zach. And they're still looking for shooting in Orlando because one thing we know is that once you put on that jersey, you are a brick. So that's Zack Lavine and his situation. DeMar DeRozan, again, if you've been listening to this show, connected to the Clippers. Will Kyle Draper get what he wants? Will it finally happen? Okay, as the Clippers are floundering a bit, and John Collins is trying to find his way. Now he's a starter. Will everyone finally get what they want? The Kings get a true 4, or a truer 4 than DeMar DeRozan. You go get John Collins, and the Clippers go get DeMar because they need scoring. All of that happened within the past 48 hours. And as I said before, Brandon Ayuk said deuces. I'm out. The layers of that story are so incredibly polarizing and incredibly interesting and incredibly confusing to see a guy like Brandon Ayuk walk away from this money, a voided contract. Kyle Shanahan says, I've never seen a voided contract in my life. Okay? Was he ready to play? Was he not ready to play? They had the worst type of buyer's remorse that I've ever seen. I've ever seen. So I tell y'all about my tech life a lot, right? Now, I always talk about there's two specific jobs that I had that were a lot of fun, man. One, the first one I had, they were really ahead of the curve, okay? And they wanted to start the buying TV or buying things off of the TV. That was their goal. And this was around 2013, 2014. So they were a smidge early. They were trying to get the technology right. But to keep the lights on, they did deals with different TV networks to sell certain things, right? So during that time, HBO was big. So whatever the show was, Game of Thrones, we sell Game of Thrones cups and things like that. That business or that company went out of business, but right now would be the blackout time, right? You could not take time off. So that was my first gig. Then my second gig, as I told you, I was at an audio app, and that's where I was for a very, very long time. But something I don't say on air very much is there was somewhere in between. Okay, I worked at this spot, and basically they did not handle cloud technology, right? But they handled I guess you could say, the organization of the technology and the sellers and the buyers. So what am I saying to you? It was a glorified position where I would just make PowerPoints and send off as to why you should continue to purchase this cloud software. Now, that's not how they sold it to me. They said, Allen, we know you're a great talker. We want to get you in the building. We want to get you to do all these things. I said, great, right? They gave me the amount of money that I wanted. I got in there 6 months straight. They had me making PowerPoints. And PowerPoints that they would then have to check. I felt like I was back in grade school. I felt like I was back living with my mother. Right? Hey, Allen, let me fact check your work. Let me check on all this. I lasted 6 months. I had a level of buyer's remorse that I've never had in my career. And that's exactly what the Niners had with Brandon Ayuk. They never wanted to extend him. Very similar to the Kings in ownership and Mike Brown. They didn't want to extend him and look for the first reason to move off of him, to trade him, to find any nook or cranny to get out of the deal. And Kyle Shanahan running up the stairs, which is my favorite part. Whenever I talk about this Brandon Ayuk story, he ran up the stairs, and Brandon Ayuk, I think he would be enjoying himself if he was in New England now. Turn that down. I don't know about the Steelers. I think he'd be a better fit on the Steelers for Aaron Rodgers and DK Stiff Metcalf. I think he would be a better fit. And he wanted to go. He's trying to find his way to the Commanders. After all this, and I bring it back to the Kings, and I bring it back to another guy in the Bay Area who signed to get his money, but clearly doesn't want to be there. Jonathan Kuminga. If somebody tells you I don't want to be there, the moral of the story is that money will not change their mind for a long period of time. For Kuminga, it took about a week. For Brandon Ayuk, it took about, a year, and that's mostly because he got injured. All these stories came out about Brandon Ayuk, and I don't even know why he's still mad. Because they didn't throw him the ball enough in the Super Bowl, and he was open. They would have, you Niner fans, you would have got the Super Bowl, by the way. You would have beat Mahomes. You would have been able to say Brock Purdy beat Patrick Mahomes because he was open. I don't know what Brandon Ayuk is mad about. But it doesn't matter because he was mad enough to not fight losing $25 million. Now, I think he probably got information that he would not win that fight because, as I would know, you got to check your contracts, people. And if you break the rules, it's very clear. Check your contracts. You got to do it. So that all went down. That was light work. That was on Friday. Then, oh, by the way, I don't know what the lead is to Barry, but the Kings actually won a basketball game. And it was a really hard-fought basketball game, and it was really impressive because people like me who had never been able to do what those players can do athletically, people like me said, I don't know if they want it. I don't know if they got the heart. I don't know if they want to represent Sacramento. People like me were getting all their takes off because they were embarrassing. And on that night, we'll talk about the caveats with the Nuggets because there were plenty. Aaron Gordon, he's got this hammy thing. He didn't play. Kyle's favorite player, Christian Brown, He didn't play. They were coming off a back-to-back. And that Nuggets-Rockets game, that was some of the best basketball that I've watched in a really long time. And there's a Kings joke in there, but I'm not going to say it because they won. So the Kings go out there, and you know what? We can talk about the fact that there was no Aaron Gordon. We can talk about the fact there was no Christian Brown. We can talk about the fact there was a back-to-back. But here's the thing, people. They have been given opportunities by the basketball gods before and didn't take advantage of it. You got my boy Peyton Watson, Julian Strother. I don't know if I think he's injured. I think I saw him in street clothes. You got my boy Peyton Watson going crazy. He had, 3 threes in the first quarter? You got him. You got other guys who we've never seen before.
Tim Hardaway Jr. is back.
Tim Hardaway Jr. I saw him the first time in 4 years. I've seen Tim Hardaway Jr. make a jump shot. I did. And you know what? The Kings said, not today. Enough is enough. This is what we've been asking of them. Now, the first thing I got to see, all I said was good job to the Kings. That's all I said. And by the way, I ticked off Russell Westbrook fans again. I'm so sick of them. I'm just going to say it. I'm not placating to them like Dave. I love Russell Westbrook. Whenever I don't want him to go, but I will be very happy when I don't have to deal with those people anymore.
Stand tall, Tubster.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. They are the worst. I'm sorry. They're the absolute worst. But anyway.
It's also only like 6 of them, too.
Oh, my. And it's the same 6. And you know what? I'm a man. I stand on business. I did not block any of them. I have not muted any of them. But I'm getting close just because there's no winning with them. There's none. Because I said something about who was going to close. Because Russell Westbrook, at that time, in that game, he was doing okay, but Schroeder had been on fire in the third quarter. Now Keegan's back. That's all I said. And I said, Schroeder has been playing well as of late, and there it turned into it. But even, bleep them anyway. But getting back to the Kings and the fact that they were able to get this done, yeah, there were some caveats. There were some asterisks. But throughout the season, there have been plenty. And the Kings have still lost. That's been the problem. They finally said, look, guys, Keegan is starting. By the way, Keegan Murray, welcome back, brother. All the Keegan haters, he's not this, he's not that. Well, how about what he is? Okay? And I'm close with the family. So I can say this.
You got to stop that. Please, I'm begging you.
I'm close with the family now.
Every time you talk about Keegan, you have to mention, I had Kenyon Martin on the show.
I just want to let y'all know, okay? That this was always the plan, okay? And Keegan Murray, this is what he was trying to tell us on Media Day. And I think the worst part about this season, with all the drama that's come out, the worst part about this season is that we got robbed the first 15, whatever amount of games from seeing Keegan Murray, and he showed us flashes during the preseason from hungry Keegan Murray, a Keegan Murray that wants to take that leap. And I think that coming off of this weekend, with the reports from Jake Fisher, with the reports from Sam Amick, more importantly, with what we've seen from Keegan Murray, with what we've seen from Nick Clifford, the visions are very clear with the Kings. Extremely clear.
The visions are clear now.
Make it through this muck, get through the holidays, and let's watch Keegan, Nick, Keon, and the crew cook. That's it. I'll put it like this. I don't think they're going to rush Domantas Sabonis back. Keep Maxime in there. Bless his soul. He was working against the Jokic and the crew.
Jokic cooked again.
But you know what, man? He was trying his darndest. And those are all learning lessons for Maxime. If Scott Perry is sitting down, and this is what's crazy though, as a team, Scott Perry is sitting down talking about how this was going to be a process. He told us that he was going to assess. He wasn't just going to sit down and blow everything up immediately. I do think that this is a wild situation for the players. And I've been really hard on the players. Matt George came on, and we are all speaking our mind because it's about the fans here, right? But this is a really awkward position for the Kings players. And I know they before you can type it, before you can text it, I know they make a ton of money. I get all that. I'm saying, relatively speaking, for other NBA teams, you're just waiting. You are just waiting because Scott Perry, we all know this isn't the end game. If you look around the league, how many teams, because here's the thing, when you're rebuilding, you know there are going to be pieces that are part of, hopefully, your end game, right? How many teams are in weird situations like the Kings? You're either already rebuilding or you're contending. The Kings are in this weird purgatory situation, as we've talked about. So, I'm not giving a pass to the Kings for effort. You still got to earn your paycheck, right? If this station was in the middle of some type of conversation about getting sold and we don't know what's going on, if I'm still getting paid, I still need to show up every day, right? You at your job, right? One of my old jobs I was just talking about, they just got acquired. So you're in the middle of an acquisition or a possible acquisition. You don't get to just, I don't know what's going to happen to me, so I'm not going to go to work. No, you're still getting paid. And nobody's getting paid as much as they're getting paid. So I'm not giving them a pass, but relatively speaking, looking around the rest of the NBA, most teams, where you're at. The only other, I would say the only other team, and that's why they're looking at DeMar DeRozan. A similar team would be the Clippers, but it's not the Clippers because just because they stink doesn't mean their intention wasn't to contend, right? If they knew, and they're going to get Kawhi back, they're gonna make a run at some point. But teams that were, like I've said before, cosplaying contention. This was the only team doing that. And Scott Perry sits down with Sam Amick. Carmichael Dave gives his report that they spoke about in Sam Amick's article. All this stuff came out, and these guys got to play a basketball game, and Doug Christie got to coach and act like, hey, we're out there to win. What are you playing for?
Well, they're not the only team that was cosplaying contention, because remember at the start of the year we were like, God, there's 14 teams in the West trying to win. Well, guess what? The Pelicans tried to compete. They're trash. They've pivoted.
But I don't know, though.
They've pivoted to just, hey, it's all about Derek Queen. God, everyone on my timeline is Derek Queen.
Not to get, no, and he's been great, but not to get caught up. But if you're trying to contend, do you do what they did to get Derek Queen? The Pelicans, we're not doing Kyle. We got too much. We're not doing the Pelicans. We know they're other. They're other.
Sure.
The Suns are a good one.
Suns, I don't know what to do with Dallas. Dallas is just there.
Dallas is a good one, too.
But again, they lost Kyrie for the season. But that's besides the point. The point, though, is, yes, they wanted to compete. They are struggling. Mm-hmm. I don't think that necessarily needs to be as great of an indictment on the players as it was when they were dropping a 40-point loss on a back-to-back against the Grizzlies. And everyone was coming here saying they have no heart and don't care about basketball and don't deserve to wear the jersey. It does not have to be that.
Well, there is a middle ground with everything. You can understand that they're in a tough spot, but like I said, Kyle, you do still, I don't know if they care about the city or not, right? I do not know. Either way, I don't believe in those moments. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. And in that game, I do not think that they gave effort that was worthy of, I don't want to say their paycheck, but you can tell. Like, I would be lying to you right now throughout my whole radio career if I said I gave the same amount of effort on every, and this is even prior to Sactown Sports, on every show, right? Anybody that does a job, you do jobs different. Every day is not the same. And we can accept that on that day, a couple times, because I would throw in that Hawks game too, they didn't show up, right? That to me is the issue. It's not losing because they're not a good team, but the level of effort. But we can understand, hey, I know it's a tough situation for them. You got to give more than that, though.
Sure.
It's got to be more than that.
I get that. I didn't love the rhetoric that, not just you, but it seemed like all these Sacramento fans and media were coming at them with on Friday, when, again, all they had to do was just turn around on Saturday and win, which
we didn't think they were ever going to win again. I did not know. They're on pace for 14 wins.
But again, that's why, playing it one game at a time with this, or even 8 games at a time, is missing the point, because, this year's already cooked. This is going to be a long turnaround.
And you know what? I think that's a good point, because I do think that's possibly why this article came out where it came out. I think it's an outstanding point, Kyle, because I think it changes everybody's expectations, including Doug. And I think it's the first time there's been a level of transparency with the Kings. And Scott Perry has always said, I talked to people during Summer League, and they had outstanding things to say about Scott Perry. All right, and I'm talking about people that I don't want to put them on blast, but people that coach in the Western Conference, okay, on the staff, front row, not back row, front row. And they were speaking glowingly about Scott Perry. And the one thing Scott Perry has always said is that he was going to be transparent. And I think him sitting down, talking about how this is going to be a process is the nicest way. I always joke about all hands meetings, right? Your CEO is never going to tell you we're about to have layoffs. But they might say, guys, things are tough right now. And there might have to be some tough decisions. If somebody says that, then you know that you're not getting a bonus. I can tell you that much. And what Scott Perry is doing as this information starting to come out, he is saying to the Kings fans, look, it is what it is right now. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like we were going to contend or whatever. I think he purposely waited just in case this thing got off to a hot start. Keegan goes down. Nobody can stay healthy. All right, let me go out there and let me be as honest as I can with the Kings fans as to what it is. If you want to spend your money to come and see the paper mache together Kings before it might be one of the most memorable bunches of Kings when you look at who they have cobbled together with DeRozan and Westbrook and the name brands. If you want to come see that, great. Just know that this is not our end goal. We do not think that this is going to get us a parade. And this is, I don't even think it's the caterpillar to the butterfly. This is the mama butterfly that's about to make the caterpillar to become the King's butterfly.
These are the starting lineup graphics that people will be reposting 3 years later and saying, God, we made it through this.
Yes. And if you want to come out and watch that and support your city, support your team, thank you. But Scott Perry felt like, and he also said to Amick, we got a lot to get into today, but he made sure to say to Amick, right, off top, he made it a point. I got full autonomy in this, okay? And that's another thing. We got to take these calls every single day on social media. You won't say Vivek's name. It's not Voldemort. We can say it, right?
Uh-oh, lights just went out.
No, well, now it's flickering. And it's Thanksgiving week. I got to buy this turkey. Maybe I should be safe this week.
Well, okay, so there's 2 points that you made, and I just want to touch on real quick before we go to break. One, asking the players to rep the city or be about the city right now, I think is unfair because, like, they all just got here.
No.
Yes.
And I've always said that. I've said yes. Doug has wrong group for Doug. That's what I've always said.
And the second part is the idea of Scott Perry being transparent in the job. That feels like saying, like being a chef and saying, I'm going to be transparent about my recipes. Like, sure, that's nice,
right.
But there's a certain level of secrecy that has to come with the job, and B, you could be KFC and no one's giving away the secret recipe, or you could be posting your recipe on Facebook and it could still lead to the same excellent meal.
It's the same thing. And I look, there's no stupid questions, but that person and some of y'all that are in the industry, there's always that person in the all hands meeting that raises their hand, especially nowadays, that says, do you see layoffs coming? Right? They ask it in front of the whole company. And what does the CEO say? Well, if they're not, first of all, you got to protect yourself. But what does the CEO say? They just got to ask, are layoffs coming? The CEO says, well, we hopefully don't foresee any of that, but this industry is changing every day, and we want to keep ourselves in a good position. So that's where they're at right now, right? Scott Perry is saying, look, we all know what this is. I'm not going to say what the reports are, but we all know, and we are acknowledging for one of the first times to this fan base, to the basketball world, we're not stupid. We know this ain't working. And to be honest with you, I'm doing Scott Perry voice. We knew this was probably going to be the path, but I was not going to come in and blow it up. We wanted to see what would happen. We wanted to see if it would work, and it didn't. And now we pivot. We are not traveling through this not understanding what's going on. All right, let's keep the conversation going. Also, Ja Morant and Clay had a beef. I am so juiced up for this show. Don't move. We got more Sam Amick. We got more Jake Fisher and the Kings, who actually won a game. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks. Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And, you know, it's been a tough go for the Kings lately. And I was just really excited that they were able to get back in, win a game, and give Kings fans exactly what they needed. Kyle, how you doing?
I am Sorry, I had a little something in my throat. Doing very good. I had a fun weekend, but I also only have 2 days of work this week, so.
So you going San Diego?
I am going to Chicago. That's where my brother lives now.
Okay.
So this is the first time I'm ever going there.
Okay. Well,
got 4 days there.
Yeah. Well, look. And I know if anybody is traveling, we got all the safe traveling tips and all that coming up later in the week, of course. But first things first, we are celebrating a Kings victory. And, you know, in the larger scheme of things, they're fifth in the Pacific Division. They're 4-13. In the larger scheme of things, it's not a big deal. Right? If anything, some of you are upset that they won because it messes up the Tankathon, which we will run. But I think it was just something that a lot of Kings fans needed. And to look at what Russell Westbrook did in that fourth quarter, and like I said, the reason I got into it with the Russell Westbrook fan club is because I was just looking around doing math thinking, I don't know who's going to close this game because Dennis Schroeder had just went off, right? And the last time they won a game, it was Dennis Schroeder in the fourth against the Warriors, the G League Warriors, but that was the last time they won a game. So I was thinking, okay, well, Keegan Murray is back now. What are they going to do? And I think if Russell Westbrook didn't start out as hot as he did in the fourth, Doug would have had a decision to make. There was also a name, to be honest with you, that I thought could have been thrown in there, and that was DeMar DeRozan. Right? I think that Doug had a lot of different decisions to make. If DeMar, DeMar's had a good season. He just hasn't really been that closer type like we've seen before. So Doug would have had a tough decision, but Russ scores, 20 in the fourth quarter and makes things very easy for Doug and the rest of the crew. Drew Eubanks, look, man, he was just battling. Drew Eubanks actually went a bit viral this weekend because everybody was making fun of both. There were two sides to it. Some were making fun of the Kings, of course, and others, and the Kings' lack of defending, and others were making fun of Jokic because the flopping was crazy. Like the flopping was, it's enough, dude. However big you are, I don't know, you're big. However big you are, you do not need to be flopping around. And the Nuggets side of it was, well, he's getting fouled. So after you don't get the calls initially, that's when you start making sure that the refs don't see it. That was the Nuggets defense. But I mean, you could also just have a little bit of integrity. Just a small amount of integrity.
I mean, Jokic, his game is so strange, man. He's a big man who doesn't jump. He
yammed, though.
Yeah?
That was the night before. That was against the Rockets. He yammed on somebody.
Yeah, I didn't know he could dunk.
No, me neither.
I didn't think it was possible.
He probably got about 10 left in his career. He's probably down to 9 now.
He's going to be, look, I've joked about this. Westbrook, we knew his game wasn't going to age great. Ja Morant's game wasn't going to age great. Jokic is going to be able to play till he's 40, man.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't jump.
No.
His knees are going to be, he's going to retire, and he's going to have, foot problems, and, his ankles are probably going to hurt. Jokic going to have perfect knees, because that dude never jumps.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, and Drew Eubanks did the best that he could. Maxime Reynaud only played 8 minutes. Felt like it was a hard-earned 8 minutes for our guy, for the Rook. He had 6 points, and he just battled, right, as good as he could. Keegan Murray, oh, my goodness. He deserves his own segment, and we're going to give him his own segment. But 19 points, 5 rebounds. He had a block as well as 2 steals, 3 of 8 from three-point land, and that's what we wanted to see from Keegan Murray. And that's the stuff that we're paying attention to. He played a game-high 37 minutes, and the Kings needed every single one of them. Another area, he only took 2 of them, but another area where Keegan kind of weirdly needed to improve a little bit is his free throws, right? I think he could be, he needs to get in that 90% range. He was 2 of 2 on Saturday night as we get ready for the Kings to take on the Timberwolves. Another familiar name. I think this is it for the Timberwolves, Nuggets, Thunder carousel for a while, though. I think we're finally done for a little bit. I think they're done with them for the season. Yeah. I think the question was, I know that they were done with OKC. I think the question was, were they going to have the Timberwolves or the Nuggets again? But that is how it's going to end tonight. Westbrook, 30 minutes, 21 points. All right, he was just on fire. He had 11 assists to go with those 21 points. It's always so funny, though, the plus-minus thing. He was a minus 13, which is by far the worst on the team. But when you watch the game, that's why plus or minus, I have a love-hate relationship with plus or minus.
Plus or minus is only but so useful.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan, 31 minutes, 17 points, 5 of 9 from the field. He had 5 assists himself. He had 1 block as well. He had 6 rebounds, too. 7 rebounds for DeMar DeRozan. Zack Lavine, 36 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. He had 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. Zack Lavine still doesn't look right to me. He doesn't. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but he still, it doesn't look right to me quite yet. Precious Achiuwa, 24 minutes. He had 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field. 4 rebounds as well. I already talked about Maxime Reynaud. How about Dennis Schroeder in that third quarter? I mean, that's and here's the thing. We needed somebody to step up. And Dennis Schroeder has taken a lot of flack on this show. He's taken a lot of flack in general based on what everybody said that he was maybe going to be and what he is. He gets banged from the starting lineup. He played better off of the bench. The previous game, he was 0 of 8 from the field. It's been really hot and cold with Dennis Schroeder, and they caught a hot moment. He was a game-high plus 20, 21 points. And honestly, Kyle, that was the moment where the Kings normally trick this thing off. Sometimes they wait till the fourth quarter, but that was the moment where the Nuggets, they go in a half. We've seen this movie before. The Nuggets go in at halftime, and they continue to work with what they're working with, and then they flip a switch that the Kings can't flip, and they win the game. And Dennis said, no, not going to happen. And then Russell Westbrook said, no, it's still not going to happen, as the Nuggets tried to do it again in the fourth quarter. Malik Monk, 26 minutes, 12 points. You know, I will say there was a shot that Malik Monk took, and I believe it was in the fourth. And I got a caveat every time I talk about Malik Monk with he's my favorite player on the Kings. But there was a shot, it was a bad shot. Okay, based on the situation, it was in the fourth quarter. It was a mid-range, not even a 3. And I could see it on Malik Monk's face. Maybe it was even subconsciously that he said, I need to wet my whistle a little bit. It's time for, Schroeder is getting his shots off. All right, I don't know when I'm going to get back in. I ain't closing. I need to get this off. And he missed the shot. And I don't even really blame him, to be honest with you. I think I had a tweet written up and I deleted it because they ended up, Russell got hot and it just felt like it wasn't the time. But that goes back to Scott Perry talking to Sam Amick that this thing has to end, because I don't blame Malik Monk. He is there to put up shots, and there is somebody out there that is going to allow him to put up shots. But in that moment, Malik is thinking, I don't know when I'm going to see the ball again. I don't even know how long I'm going to play. He played 26 minutes, which is fine, right? But we've talked about how these are the least amount of minutes he's been playing since the first Beam Team season. But even those minutes, all minutes aren't created equal. Those minutes, he's still the focal point. So even if he's playing 22 to 24 minutes, we know what Malik looked like on those Beam Team seasons. So even if he played 26, you're playing 26 as the third option and you're Malik Monk. That ain't really it. So that's what Malik did. Nick Clifford only got 9, but I guess we're not going to complain about it because the Kings won. And yeah, of course, no Devin Carter and no Keon Ellis. So I think that's another reason Scott Perry sat down with Sam Amick, because the Keon thing might still be cooked, to be honest with you. But the other guys that they've talked about with Neek and Keegan, we know what's coming and we know what they're focused on doing. Let's keep the conversation going. We got some calls that we want to get to as well, 916-339-1140, if you want to be a part of the conversation. Do you feel better about the Kings, not just because of the game, but because Scott Perry is giving us what we want. Transparency. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
No payments for 90 days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right. No payments until February 2026 on every new Ram, Jeep Wrangler, Gladiator, even the Pacifica. No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at the guaranteed lowest price. You can check out their full lineup at SacSuperstore.com or stop on by. They're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something. And right now, no payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need. From reliable printers to high-performance copiers, we'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagan Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention. Others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game. Have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
It's time for Black Friday, Dell Technologies' biggest sale of the year. Enjoy the lowest prices of the year on select PCs like the Dell 16 Plus, featuring Intel Core Ultra processors. And with built-in advanced features, it's the PC that helps you do more, faster. Plus, earn Dell rewards and enjoy many other benefits, like free shipping, price match guarantee, and expert support. They also have huge deals on accessories that pair perfectly with your Dell PC and make perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And the Kings, they did it. The Kings got it done. All right. And as soon as they win a game, all this stuff comes out right after. You have Jake Fisher. What was that on Saturday? No, that was Sunday. That was Sunday. And then you have Sam Amick with an article today as he sat down with Scott Perry and then added in his own notes as well. So we have that for you. That's going to be at 12 o'clock as we're just doing it in order of how this stuff came out. So we have the Jake Fisher article, which is funny, Kyle, because I don't know, does the Sam Amick article, to me, it is, how should I say this, more pertinent than the Jake Fisher article. Because Jake Fisher is touching on a lot of different things, right? And Sam, he's in the building. We see him. We might see him tonight, right? I'm still waiting to hear back, but I'm trying to show up tonight. So we want to let everybody know what Jake Fisher said. But to me, the meat and potatoes is Sam Amick. That's the truth.
I mean, Sam is giving you more in the weeds, like conversation with Scott Perry. I mean, they're talking, Jake Fisher's giving you the rundown of like, hey, here's who's available. Here's what it's going to look like in a trade. Sam just mentions it briefly, but his is more like, hey, are we going to play the young guys?
Plan, yes, yeah. Larger plan.
Are you going to play? But it's like more in-depth, like conversations that we would have in Sacramento, but people outside of Sacramento wouldn't necessarily find as valuable. Like Sam is speaking more so to Sacramento Kings fans with his story because he's asking him, are you going to play the young people? Do you have autonomy in decision-making? Is this a long rebuild or a short rebuild? Things like that.
Yeah, 916-339-1140. We got TC and we got AC. Let's start with TC. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Hey, Allen, what's up, man? Happy holidays, man.
Happy holidays, man. Of course. Same to you.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, that's what I was so now we all see, right? That's what I was talking about when I said let Scott Perry cook, right? Let him cook, and he finally came out and gave Kings fans what everybody wanted, a vision and a plan. Everybody's like, man, we got a vision. Come out and talk to us, Monty. Roddy, come out and say it. Well, he said it. So at this point, Kings fans, there really ain't nothing to be complaining about. I get it. You probably want to trade here and there. But the main part of all this situation we're talking about, the vision and the plan, and Scott came out and said that. So, hey, I can't even be mad at him, Allen. I respect it, bro.
Yeah, thanks for the call, TC. I think that's how a lot of people feel, and obviously you're running around and probably haven't got a chance to look at the Sam Amick piece in depth quite yet, and that's why we are here for you. But, yeah, he asked Scott Perry about all of it, right? And Scott Perry essentially says that there was never a plan, and he's been saying it the whole time. There was never a plan to show up and just blow everything up immediately. They were going to wait, see what happens. I mean, there was a chance, right? You look at these names on paper, I think there was a chance that maybe a little run was a possibility, and Keegan's injury put that to bed. Now, did I think that without Keegan, they'd only have 4 wins? No. And really, they only had 3 wins because Keegan came back to help get that 4th win. No, but I think they would have been better, and maybe it would have bought everyone more time. This was a break glass in case of emergency because things had gotten real hot in the streets as far as the Kings were concerned, and you had the Jake Fishers coming out saying different things, and just around the league, there just had to be a question of, hey, it's so bad. What is the plan? And give the give the fans a little bit of hope, if you will, or just an understanding of where they're currently at. So that's what Scott Perry did. And we'll give you a little free sample here. This was Sam Amick. Carmichael Dave already framed it weeks ago that this is a full rebuild, and I know labels can be tricky, but is that an accurate depiction of the state of affairs, or it is more nuanced than that? This is Scott Perry, laughs in parentheses.
He didn't actually say that.
Yes. Scott, this is me laughing. But, yeah. Well, look, everybody has their choice of language. Like I said, when I came in here, it was about observing this year and then being able to make the necessary decisions and build from that point. I'm not a big label guy, but I'm just telling you that it's going to take time to build this the right way. I never kidded myself about that. I always knew coming in here that this was going to be a lift to get this team to become a sustainable winner. Would you like to have it happen without some of the early noise? Sure, but life is never perfect. I'm as confident as ever that we'll get there. So that is as open as I think any CEO will be or decision maker will be about where they were at. And this is him saying, and this is what we talked about, right? And the reason it struck me was because, they did not go out and get a 4. They didn't. They said, we don't have a lot of value right now for your DeRozans and your Zack Lavines. We don't have that. That doesn't seem to be the case. So we're not going to go. Now they ended up getting a 4 Precious Achiuwa, but that essentially cost them nothing. They didn't have to give up anything, or there were no trades that they felt like were going to. I'm sorry, Hot Honey Jones. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say Allen. They did get Dario Saric.
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, how could I forget?
For Jonas Valanciunas.
Yes. So, by the way, Sidi Sissoko went off this weekend, but that I promise I'm done after that. But they were going to assess the situation, see what the value was. In the summer, there was no value. We, as much as we tried to force it on the Kings, there was no value out there that made sense. Hey, maybe this team can go on a little run and do what the Suns are doing. That was not the case. And now Scott Perry is saying, don't worry. Everybody knows, right? This is the most transparent situation in the NBA. Everybody knows what's going on now. We are waiting to see what's out there for DeMar DeRozan. Everybody is essentially available. Keegan Murray technically cannot be traded, but all of this, everything is on the table to attempt to move this thing in the right direction. Let's get to AC as we keep this thing going. What's up, AC? What you got for us?
Hey, first of all, just want to tell Kyle that when he goes to Chicago, you need to have Giordano pizza pie. That's a must. So just a little tip there.
Okay.
All right, I will keep that in mind.
And how about the Sacramento Kings? 2 different nights, 2 different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Even the technical by Eubanks showed a fight, and he was justified. Blah blah blah. Usually that comes back to kill us, but we have a hard time deciding what we're going to do with this team. But that's the way. That's all we fans want. We just want to fight. We want the team to be competitive, and they might not win a championship, but damn it, we want a fight. So. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, thanks for the call, AC. Great stuff. And that's what we saw. And tonight, same thing, right? We're going to play beat the spread or guess the spread, but ultimately it's can you guess the effort, right? Can you guess the effort level of the Kings each and every night? Because hopefully it's a good guess. And hopefully it's a guess that lands with them putting forth what we deem acceptable and more than acceptable, excitable for your Sacramento Kings, because that's what we haven't seen. 11 o'clock hour coming up. All right, there are really some good notes here from Jake Fisher, and this is almost a prequel to Sam Amick. So we're going about it in a very time-sensitive way. So join us on this journey as we walk you through everything that broke this weekend for the Sacramento Kings while you were at somebody's soccer practice. Soccer never ends, so we know it's still going on. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton & Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-646-5454. That's 800-646-5454.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
On Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. and we are giving you what broke from Jake Fisher as well as Sam Amick. It's one of those things where, just to peel the curtain back for a second, it's one of those things where we had the rundown ready to go, and then we wake up this morning and Sam Amick drops an article. So,
and you have to go to a 2-month appointment.
Yes, and they had the baby appointment. Everything is great. Hey, by the way, look, y'all want to make the jokes. 91st percentile. Mm-hmm.
For
height.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I think he's short, Tim.
Yeah.
I think he's short.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Wife is taller than me with heels on, right? Hopefully they're getting those jeans, not mine.
But what was it for baby number 1?
I think she's ahead of schedule too.
Okay.
They're all going to be taller than me with heels on. I'm comfortable. I'm fine.
I'm sure
it does not matter.
I think he's short, Tim.
Doesn't matter.
I think he's short.
It's for the greater good, right? When they're holding up that Wimbledon trophy, I will not care.
What? Sorry, I thought it was softball.
Whatever. When they're holding up, that's after.
Well, then you'll get a movie made after you, like the Williams father.
Exactly. King Styles. That's what it'll be.
Oh, my God. You would love that so much.
Right.
My God.
916-339-1140 as we talk about the Kings and everything.
Senor Segway strikes again.
I'm hot today. I keep trying to tell you. We discuss what Jake Fisher had to say, and we're going to tie it in to what Sam Amick then said because it all kind of gets thrown into a blender or a smoothie in this Kings situation, if you will. So on Sunday, Jake Fisher comes out and he has a whole list of things that he wanted to break down. And he says, Kings open to trading anybody except Nick Clifford or Keegan Murray. Now, Keegan just signed, so Keegan couldn't be moved this season. He'd have to be moved in the offseason or once the season ends. Domantas Sabonis, Zack Lavine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, and others are reportedly available. Now, not if you're driving, but in your mind, raise your hand if this is a surprise. Raise your hand if you are surprised by this information. Because I don't think anybody, especially if you're driving, but I don't think anybody is raising their hands right now. If you've been listening to the Allen Stiles Show, if you've been listening to Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross, if you've been listening to the Drive Guys, if you follow people like Matt George, nobody should be raising their hands, right? That's nothing on Jake Fisher, but obviously we are more so in the weeds out here in Sacramento than from a national standpoint. It was dang near more so about other teams and their interest level and having fans of other teams salivate and drool over getting a Domantas Sabonis. Jake went on to talk about, and we got this sound that we'll play for you, but Jake went on to talk about Domantas Sabonis and his fit with Bam Adebayo and guys like that. So it's more so about letting the rest of the basketball and the basketball world know what we already knew, because nobody is surprised. You're not trading Nick Clifford, who is Scott Perry's first real imprint on this roster. Why would they do that? Now, again, Carmichael Dave comes out. Carmichael Dave comes out about a couple hours later and says, I want to speak on this report. And the reality is everybody can be moved. Everybody's got a price tag, even Luka, right? So it's a technicality and maybe semantics, but there is a priority list in who they would want to move and who they don't want to move. But if at the end of the season, if some team comes with if Keegan keeps playing like this and a team comes with an offer, 3 first-rounders, something ridiculous because they think Keegan is the perfect third option for them and they like his price tag. I know some people think it's a little much, but they like his price tag. Scott Perry is most likely not saying no to that. So Dave came out and said, look, all love to Jake Fisher. What him and Mark Stein do, they do impeccable work. But the reality is nobody is actually untouchable. Nobody is actually untouchable. Everybody has a price tag. But the thought process is y'all probably aren't going to get to the price tag that we would want. So even though it's a semantics thing, but technically nobody on that roster is untouchable besides Keegan Murray until the end of the season. That's what Dave came out and said. So now that we know that, and to start to combine what Sam Amick has said about Keon Ellis, I think we might need to get ready for our goodbyes, Kyle.
Okay, so the Keon specific point, yes, because it seems like there's just enough need across the league for someone to go offense, defense with a 2-guard, and just not a lot of options available. Like, unless the Clippers are going to part with Chris Dunn, which he's on an amazing contract right now. Unless the Clippers are going to part with Chris Dunn, he's kind of the premier 3-and-D 2-guard that's going to be available on the market.
Yeah.
If they get a first-round pick, even if it's not a premium first-round pick, it's better than risking letting him go to unrestricted free agency. And that's kind of the thought process, I guess, with Keon. Now, we'll see what they end up getting. If they only get offered 2 seconds or a conditional first or something, then, maybe they just don't go through with it. But it seems like as long as the price is right, it's a fairly straightforward transaction because every team can absorb him into their salary cap space.
Yeah.
He's only making $2 million.
Right. So the Kings have some decisions to make. Obviously, it would be interesting, Kyle, because of how little Keon's making. Depending on what you give up, you could see him as a rental. Obviously, you'd like to sign him if you are one of these teams. But if you're the Thunder, right? Because they're bringing up who is it? Isaac Joe and some of these guys.
Isaiah Joe and AJ Mitchell.
Who I think AJ Mitchell can ball, but somebody like them who has a bunch of first rounders to spare. They look in their wallet, they dig in their pockets, and they find other first rounders. That's one thing. But I'm confused, or not confused, but I am interested to see what happens with Keon because he is going to be a free agent. So are you willing to give up a first rounder for a rental? Is there a way? And we want to have on Yossi Gozlin, who we've had on before. He's got a new job, so we're trying to work around schedules. But the question I have is, Kyle, is if you trade Keon, and what I'm assuming is you trade him in January, and then I'm assuming that team could, because in February he would be extension eligible. So I would assume if we're giving up the 18th overall pick for Keon, we want him for this season, but then we traded for him in January, then in February we extend him. That's what my assumption would be on this.
I think it depends on the team, right? So if I go through the list of teams that kind of have that low-level pick, like Minnesota has the 20th pick in the draft. They could really use a Keon Ellis. I mean, him replacing Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah, he's taller, according to Basketball Reference.
Oh, you could argue it's an upgrade from Keon to Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I guess.
You could.
You could.
I'm not saying he is for certain. I'm saying you could make the argument.
Nickeil just dropped like 34 points last week.
Sure.
I get you.
But you could. Keon's had 30 points, or 29. I think 29 is his career high. But anyways, you could make that argument. But Minnesota would have to find a way to create cap space, whether that's, trading for Ja Morant or whatever else they do. Like, Minnesota's got to find some way to create cap space if they wanted to sign Keon. Again, there's a lot of in the weeds stuff we could get into. Like, if you sign him for your mid-level exception, does that make it easier for the incoming team to sign him? He doesn't have bird rights. Again, there's a lot of in the weeds stuff that we don't have to talk about. But yeah, I think any team that trades for him would like to have him be part of their long-term core, but that's not necessarily prohibitive for making it. Like, you could still trade for him and not re-sign him.
I'm seeing this text, and it does remind me of something that is a bit confusing, right? So the 916 says, just a little surprised about Keon being available since he seems to be what Scott Perry is looking for. There is a disconnect there. I don't know what it is, but now that Scott Perry, I do feel like, and we're going to get deeper into the Sam Amick article, I do feel like there is something missing, because if you deep down knew that this team was probably not going to end up in a parade, right? If you deep down you knew that, then why make the moves that you made and hang with me, the domino effect of moving Jonas Valanciunas to clear up that money to get a Dennis Schroeder, who, number one, will take minutes away from Keon, even though I know Keon's more of a shooting guard wing, but take that money away, and then on top of that, put you in a position, as you gave Dennis Schroeder that money, put you in a position to where you have to pick up Keon's option because you're trying to save a little bit of cash. That, and now Keon could be a unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. That doesn't make sense to me. And then on top of that, because the answer that I heard was, well, if Keon balls out, right? If Keon balls out, they can still come to an extension in February. Then on top of that, to triple down and go get Russell Westbrook, even though he's played well, now Keon just didn't even play last game. I will say some of the things, and maybe this is a situation where Scott Perry cannot say, look, I have full autonomy, but there were some moves that I pick your battles, right? There were some pick your battle moves. That's how I'll phrase it, that had to be made to make it clear to my boss that we were trying to contend, and collateral damage that might come out of that is Keon Ellis. Now, let's be honest here. If I'm Scott Perry, my thought process is Keon Ellis is 26 years old. I like Keon Ellis. I think he can play. But if he had to possibly be a sacrificial lamb, and a sacrificial lamb that could net us a first-round pick, possibly, that's just something that we had to do. Unless you thought that Keon was going to be some version of the next savior, Scott Perry had to make some decisions, and it seems like one of those decisions was, hey, we have to make some moves. I need to show that we are attempting to contend, and in showing that, we might possibly lose Keon. The hope is that we can trade him and get some value, but at that time, we were working around the fringes, trying to show in and I don't know why you had to commit to Dennis Schroeder that much, but trying to show to my boss, to the good people that pay for the season, right? If you have season tickets, the season ticket holders, that we're trying to contend. Do I think they had to give them 3 years? I know it's only 2 years guaranteed. I don't know. I don't know what the market was. Doesn't feel like it though. And because of that, we are, in a way, quote unquote, sacrificing Keon Ellis, but it's not a sacrifice, as we talked about during the summer. If you can get, let's not forget, Neek was 26th pick. If you sacrifice Keon Ellis and you go get my boy Neo from Virginia Tech because you got the 18th pick and he's projected to be a late teener right now, then you kind of won. Let's not forget, Keon's nickname, besides Ellis Island, was House Money. So if you can flip Keon for another for a first rounder when he was undrafted from a different regime, and you don't think that he is going to be a game changer specifically for what you're looking for, would he be this is what I said in the summer, I got killed for it. Could he be a game changer on a current contender? Yes. But Keon said it himself. I'm not going to be, a first, second option in this league. So Scott Perry's essentially saying, I had to make some moves to appease whoever you want to call it, right? Ownership, whoever. I had to make some of those moves. But I made some of those moves understanding that we still are in a position to, if we do lose Keon, it ain't going to be for nothing. As Sam Amick writes, Keon has the most value. So let's save this money. Let's see what happens with Dennis Schroeder, another super movable contract. And if we do lose Keon, we ain't going to lose him for some Doritos and not even the Cool Ranch ones.
Well, one clarification of what you just said. It's not that he has the most value. It's that he is the most coveted.
Sure, yes.
Which is just to say more teams are interested in him, which I can only, because he's obviously not better than all the other guys we're talking about here, but the contract is the thing that people want to trade for, because any team, any contender can just slot him in at $2 million.
Right, and that answers the question, Kyle, why would anybody pay a first-round pick for a guy that can get in free agency for the MLE because time is of the essence.
Well, because if you get him in free agency, he's going to be $10 to $15 million a year. Mm-hmm. Now you can have a 10 to 15 million. Like, let's use the Minnesota example. If Minnesota were to sign Keon Ellis, they would have to either go into the second apron or make a subsequent trade to lower their value. Right now, they can just plop him in for a trade exception, or if they want, they can trade, some deep bench guy making a minimum, and they can still slot Keon in at that $2 million. They can add him without having to get rid of any core piece.
Yeah.
You can't do that in free agency. Every team can't. Some teams can, not every team.
It just gives you more. Every team is looking for any nook and cranny of flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Even if they're not going to bring him in after this year. But again, if you don't plan to re-sign him, then your offer's probably less and you're not going to get him.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. But to the Scott Perry point, I just think his ship is more connected to Nick Clifford. And if he had it his way, I think he'd rather Nick Clifford be the long-term starting two on the Kings than signing Keon Ellis and trying to make him the long-term starting two after Zach and DeMar are gone, right? They'd rather go younger, the guy he drafted and who's under team control for 8 years at or at least 4 years at relatively cheap.
Keon, Malik, these are all guys that were close to that are close to their ceiling. I think Malik is clearly closer to his ceiling than Keon, but Scott Perry is assessing the situation. The Devin Carter thing, I just don't think they believe there's a lot of value there, right? And I don't know how that connects to Doug and his playing time, but there is not a large commitment to Devin Carter. That's what we do know. But for all these other guys, I think one thing that people need to remember, and I do think it is a big deal, is they're trying to get younger. I mean, Keon, he is only 25. I called him 26. Sorry, Keon. He is only 25. But where you think these guys are going, again, I think they could have held on to him personally. But I think the way Scott Perry is looking at it is there's no, in my opinion, there's no way you lose Keon for nothing. Because if nobody is, here's the other thing. And we had multiple people on during the summer, during the offseason. If nobody trades for Keon, they still have a decision to make. We've learned this in other situations. If DeMar is gone by February and they don't trade Keon, if DeMar is gone, they're going to talk about Zack Lavine, some big news on Zack Lavine. If DeMar is gone and Zack Lavine it's possible that he opts out of this, I don't even need to go Zack Lavine, Malik Monk. If DeMar is gone and Malik Monk is gone and nobody does end up trading, let's say the Kings don't like what's out there for Keon has a decision. It's kind of messed up, but his value could be a little bit depressed because he hadn't been playing. Now Keon has to look himself in the mirror if the Kings offer him an extension in February and say, am I that salty at the Kings that I'm going to turn them down and take my chances in free agency when I'm a two-way guy, an undrafted guy who's never had to go through this process before? And do I think I'm going to make that type of money on the open market? Or do I say, you know what? I've been, again, who did Malik Monk say was the most transparent GM he's ever worked with? Scott Perry. Or does Scott Perry do what we know he's good at doing, have conversations with Keon? Could he be currently still having conversations with Keon? Hey, just hang in there. He is the type of player that Keon likes. And once this thing gets moved, hey, we've always liked you. It's February. Here's our extension. DeMar is gone. Malik is gone. It's y'all in the crew, right? Or it doesn't work out, and Scott Perry moves him for whatever respectable value he deems out there before the deadline. So I just think, in Scott Perry's opinion, they're not going to lose him for nothing. Now, it's possible Keon says, bleep you, but I think the goal is that before the trade deadline ends, there will be an understanding in that building that Keon is either going to say bleep you and test free agency or is willing to sign an extension. That's why I think Scott Perry does not see a world where you're losing Keon Ellis for nothing. He could see that world. He could see that world. I'm not saying that's the reality. I'm saying that would, hey, we had a conversation and then Keon at the last second or whatever says, you know what, I actually am gonna test free agency, and then you lose him. That's still a possibility. I'm telling you what I believe to be Scott Perry's thought process.
See, because the tough part about that is the direction that they're going after this year. So I'm gonna throw a random example out there. Let's say DeRozan does get moved to the Clippers, and they get like Bogdanovich and a second-round pick, basically. And by the way, the Clippers have pick 38 and 40 this year.
Okay.
So let's just say you get one of them, and then maybe like a future seventh grader or something. If they get 38, then the Sacramento Kings next year would have their first-round pick, their second-round pick, which right now is at the top of the draft, Charlotte's second-round pick, which is at the top of the second round, and a Clippers second, which comes from the Clippers, so, could be in the 40s, kind of where Maxime was picked, right? You're bringing in 4 rookies on top of Keegan and Maxime and Neek Clifford, and maybe Devin Carter will still be on the team.
But Kyle, we're talking about second rounders here.
But I'm saying that you only get but so many roster spots.
No, I hear you.
So I'm saying they're going to prioritize the Scott Perry people over potentially a Keon Ellis type if next year is all about development, right? They have a chance right now to bring in 4-5 young guys, all have them align the timelines, get younger, and then by 2027, all the money is off the books. The way Scott Perry is moving, it tells me that they don't plan to have Keon be part of the team beyond 2026 in some capacity, because otherwise, why would you decline the option, or why would you accept the option in the summer just to bring in a Dennis Schroeder who also isn't going to be on the team past 2027?
Yeah, I think the more realistic thought here is that Scott Perry never has to answer that, because Keon does get moved for a late first rounder, and then they can say, well, we were hoping to extend with Keon, but we couldn't say no to a first rounder when you're flipping an undrafted guy to a first round pick. And then we all say, you know what? He's kind of right. I think that's the hope, that he never has to answer that question. So I believe you're correct. If Keon makes it past the trade deadline, then I would say that your thought process is probably incorrect, because it would be a bad look to lose him for nothing.
Yeah, but if I'm Keon, unless the Kings have completely flipped and are like, we're actually going to offer you 4 years, $70 million. If I'm Keon, I'll just hit free agency.
But that's what, yes, we're not saying different things. I'm saying I believe Scott Perry is good enough to deduce if that's probably going to be the case. And if it turns into a high second round pick, we might not like it as much. I would like it to be a first rounder, but he might say, look, we're going to lose. We knew this was going to be the case. We thought maybe we could get Keon to a low first rounder, but let's just do this. Let's just do this good second round pick, and Keon, good luck.
And maybe we'll get a future seventh grader or something we can use.
Something, a pick swapper, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the other part of it, is like, if Keon is so coveted in the way that Sam Amick is talking about, then they should have no problem getting a market value offer. Now, if that for some reason doesn't come in, or Keon gets hurt or something like that, then you can reevaluate.
Well, he can't get hurt now. He's not playing.
Yeah, he's not 0 minutes.
He's safe. He's safe right now. Knock on wood. All right. On the other side, does Domantas Sabonis make sense in Miami? I don't see it, but apparently others do. Let's hear what Jake Fisher had to say. Don't move. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Black Friday sales event?
We have the best savings yet on new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cabs, starting at only $34,995 with up to $12,500 off MSRP. Or save thousands with $5,250 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months.
And did I hear you got the Hemi back?
Yep, we have 450 new Rams available, including the 5.7-liter Hemi, and we have 40 Hemis in stock. Plus, with our award-winning customer service, you won't find a better combination of selection, service, and savings than at Hoblet Dodge.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 after $7,250 factory rebates and $5,250 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory cash, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. $34,995 net price after rebates. VIN number 170493. 0% financing for well-qualified buyers on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. Must have 720 plus FICO score. $13.89 per thousand borrowed. See dealer for details.
This holiday season, create a fun and joy-filled memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help others in need through the Giving Machine, November 17th through December 8th at the Galleria Mall in Roseville, and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall, November 21st through December 12th. Choose local charities in your community or global charities worldwide. Feel the joy of Christmas. Go to GivingMachineGreaterSacramentoModesto.org.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait, the clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks. The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Plenty is going on right now. And most notably, Kings won. And they got a game tonight. By the way, what a night. And I got to say, real quick, been ice cold lately, my buddy. But Schmal and Miles have a weekend, Schmal and Miles. Darnell Mooney, you are the opposite of band Darnell Mooney. Thank you very much for your donation.
He is not
your band.
No. I'll tell you what though, JJ McCarthy, that dude is super band.
Well, he's concussed now, so don't worry.
Respectfully, okay. But prior to that, I thought, Kyle, Schmal and Miles thought, hey, Justin Jefferson, he's one of these days, right? Nope.
I saw this was the lowest they'd ever offered Justin Jefferson on the props.
And still didn't hit.
Nope, didn't hit.
And then I thought, hey, he can't throw, right? So my theory is always quarterbacks are going to run, right? Shador was running. He didn't really have to run against the Raiders because they stink. But when Shador got in against the Ravens last week, he was running around. J.J. McCarthy against a good Green Bay Packers defense. Micah Parsons, 16.5. He's got to get to 16.5, right? He was the one there was a ticket Schmalen had. It was all quarterback rushing yards. One guy didn't get there, Kyle. You know who that was?
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy. So welcome, J.J. McCarthy, to the banned list.
You're banned.
Thank you.
Banned.
He's now banned for life.
Banned. Eternal ban. Hell no.
So I don't know if is Justin Jefferson banned too? I don't know.
Well, there's going to be a new quarterback this week. Who is it? I think it's like the Minnesota quarterback, like Tanner Mordecai or something. I don't know. But
what's the name of that one guy who was running around for a while? It felt like he would just be around.
Sean Mannion?
No.
You're saying on the Vikings.
He's been on the Vikings. He's been on a ton of teams.
Are you talking about Mullins?
No, but you're there. You're right there.
By the way, Max Brosmer is the Golden Gopher quarterback. It's basically Tommy DeVito. Minnesota Tommy DeVito is who the next quarterback is.
Okay. Not Cooper. There's a guy, I'm looking at his face now, man. I'm gonna remember.
Vikings?
He was everywhere. He
Hill?
was everywhere.
Are you thinking?
I'll tell you. I'll find it.
By the way, just while we're talking about J.J. McCarthy, just a rude ESPN headline saying Vikings play struggling quarterback McCarthy in concussion protocol. Did we really need the struggling part in that?
What was he not?
Do we really need to say Vikings plays bum quarterback McCarthy in concussion protocol?
Let's hear from... Jacob's gone. Jacob was on the line.
By the way, also, I've never been more right about knowing a quarterback wouldn't work. I just knew McCarthy wasn't going to make it.
So is it done now?
I feel pretty confident saying it's done.
Okay.
And I'm the person who's like, a quarterback needs 20 games to figure it out. No, this is not going to fix McCarthy.
I think I found him. Taylor Heineke.
I don't think he was.
It wasn't. But he's one of them. But there's another one.
Yeah, he wasn't on the Vikings.
No, but he was. They all are.
Heineke's just been on Washington forever.
They all are. All right. Let's hear from Jake Fisher. No Senor segue there. Let's hear from Jake Fisher. Senor segue strikes again. And what he had to say about Domantas Sabonis and the Miami Heat. What
teams could be interested in Sabonis to get back there from Churro 916 LTV? I don't have definitive answers for that at this juncture because he's got $40+ million on the books. He has been a defensive liability. And to my understanding from talking to people around the league, he needs to be maximized playing next to another rim protecting and floor spacing big man. And there are a few of those guys. Someone posited to me, like, could Miami be interested putting him next to Bam Adebayo? That's not to say here and report that Miami has interest in Sabonis. It's just that is the type of front court pairing, someone like Miles Turner, someone like Jaren Jackson, that the good majority of people I've spoken to in the league believe that Sabonis would need next to him in order to thrive.
Okay, real quick. Kyle found the quarterback.
You're talking about Case Keenum?
Yes.
Case Keenum went to the NFC Championship game with them.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's on the Vikings.
Okay.
He's always on the Vikings.
I thought maybe you were also going with Trevor Siemian.
No. Case Keenum is on the Vikings. I don't care.
Yeah,
he's there.
Because he won a playoff game. He was the Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, he's going to save them.
Where is he now? I know he's still in the league.
He's with the Bears.
He's with the Bears. I knew he was still around. He's basically at the Chase Daniel stage of his career.
Yeah. Case Keenum. Thank you, Kyle. That was killing me. Case Keenum. All right, back to what was said about Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, for Jake Fisher. Think about the other guys he named. And help me with this. Maybe I'm missing it. But he names off Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Turner. I understand that none of these guys, they're all allergic to rebounding. and Bam isn't as allergic to rebounding, but those other two guys stretch the floor. I know Bam is ridiculous defensively, and Miles Turner isn't. They all stretch the floor. So I don't know if it's Bam, Domantas Sabonis, Tyler Hero, and Norm Powell's and Andrew Wiggins. Maybe there's enough shooting on that floor. Sure.
Well, no. We got to get Wiggins coming back. In
Somebody
that field. For Sabonis, we got to have Wiggins.
Three shooters and Bam and Sabonis, I guess would work. But that my initial thought is not that was the number one team on my mind.
No, we talked about it last week. I don't think Bam. I think it would make more sense with Khalil Ware than with Bam.
That's why it was so funny to me that we just talked about it last week, and then Jake Fisher says that's a team that would work when we just said, I don't think it would.
Yeah, I don't either. By the way, I know we did this exercise for last year. Remember, we went through players who shot 36% from three and had a block per game. Like, you just need them to block and stretch the floor. We can do it again this year because last year it was an annoying list because Khalil Ware was on it.
Right.
But here's the list so far this year of guys averaging at least a block per game and shooting, we'll call it 35% from the three-point line. It is weirdly Giannis. I don't think he's taking very many threes, but Giannis. Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, I feel like this actual list should change. You know, I'm obsessed with attempts, but the real list would be minimum. I want to say 3 attempts per game, but I'll even drop it down to 2.
Okay.
But I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but Giannis should not be on that list.
Okay. Well, Giannis is taking 1.4 per game, so we'll count it for. Okay. So if we set it at a minimum of 3.
Yes, I like that.
Okay. So you have Jaden McDaniels.
Man, he's so good.
Mikal Bridges.
You think he stinks, but
that one's small sample size.
Okay.
I mean, Mikal Bridges averaging a block and a half.
What is your problem with Mikal Bridges?
I just said a block and a half per game, really. Anyways, Miles Turner, like Jake Fisher mentioned.
Interesting.
Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
That one I don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
Onyeka Okongwu for the Hawks.
But didn't he hit? Yeah, no, he hit one against the Kings.
Yeah, no, Onyeka Okongwu can shoot it. Let's see. He's taking.
He might get squeezed out of Atlanta.
So Onyeka Okongwu is taking 4.8 attempts per game, shooting 40.7%, and is averaging a block per game. No, honestly, Porzingis is going to get squeezed out, but he doesn't even want to stay. 2 blocks per game, 39% from 3 on, what is this? 4 attempts per game. Can I interest you, 3 attempts per game. Can I interest you in Big Stu, Isaiah Stewart?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Yeah. The other one's Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, Derek Jones Jr., and technically 32% from 3, but PJ Washington.
Yeah, and somebody, Will, on the chat, well, he's making fun of one of us saying Mikal Bridges. I've heard his name pronounced 8,000 times. But he's saying Bam is a shooter, though. That is the same example to me as DeMar DeRozan. There's a shooter and there's stretching the floor, right? What constitutes being a shooter? Do you think of DeMar DeRozan as a shooter? I do. Does DeMar DeRozan stretch the floor? No. It's that simple.
Yeah. By the way, Bam is shooting 36% on 5.5 threes. The thing is, he's not the best shot blocker.
He's taking 5 threes a game?
Yeah, Bam's taking 5 threes per game on the Heat.
Really?
Yeah, he's shooting 36%. 5.5 technically.
Bam
Adebayo, 5.5 threes per game this year. Last year he was only
corrected.
Last year he was at 2.8. If that helps.
Okay, so this is the year.
You could just be a hater like me and say small sample size.
Yeah, it is a small sample size, but what are they doing? What is happening out there?
I don't know, but they're the 4th seed in the East.
Because he's shooting.
You were ready to you were ready to put Spoelstra to dead, but leave him for dead. But no, Spoelstra's back from the grave.
Look, if that continues, then sure. But to your point, Bam, the reason he's not on that list is because of the blocking. So you have 2 guys, nobody's protecting the rim, really. You have 2 tweeners.
I would honestly, again, talent is talent, so I understand if you can get Sabonis and put him next to Bam, you probably try it, but I would probably try Khalil Ware, even
It
though
just doesn't.
Even though Spo says he needs to grow up.
Yeah, we need a professional in here. It just doesn't make. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. But look, if you want to get, and then a lot of people don't want Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins does feel like a king, though, because it would definitely annoy people.
Oh, he's going to get here at some point.
It would definitely annoy people.
Warriors would hate it.
And what are the Heat willing to give up? The reason we don't waste a lot of time on the Heat is because they are the anti-Danny Ainge. They want to give you used or chewed bubble gum and a paperclip, right? And they just want to pretend like they want to be a part of these conversations, but they don't. They really don't. When we return, do we really have to do the is Keegan going to turn things around thing? I think we should. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now for the last 2 years, I've been sharing the great experience I've had being a customer of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the sales department to the service department, they're top notch. And now is the perfect time for you to have the MB of Stockton experience. The Mercedes-Benz holiday celebration is on, and that means you can get super low rates on new and certified pre-owned models. Plus, they'll throw in 3 years of prepaid maintenance on select models. They make it easy and affordable for you to drive away in the car of your dreams. And if you have a trade-in, well, they're looking for all vehicles to purchase. Any makes, any models, just holler at my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is the gift that keeps on giving. So take the short drive down I-5 and visit my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And while you're there, tell them Drape sent you.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
916-339-1140, and it's time. It's time to do the thing, right?
The Tankathon?
No, because the Kings won. So today's not the day. We're going to do it anyway, of course. We'll just do it right now. They're tied for fifth with Charlotte. 39% chance of a top four. Oh, no. Drop 2 with the 8th pick. That is bad. Let me run this thing.
So you gotta run it again.
Drop 1. 7th pick of the draft.
See, this is what I'm telling you, man.
Oh, stayed at 7. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi.
This
is still at 7. It has not gotten past 8.
Again, this is what I'm telling you. You gotta just.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Finally.
With the 2nd pick, that I ran that about 8 times.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good.
So, since you hate Boozer and I'm out on Debansa, who do we get?
See, I reset it, then ran it first time after resetting it, first pick in the draft.
There you go. That's all you had to do.
It is. No, I'm in on Debansa. Whitey's out on Debansa.
No, I'm out on Debansa. I thought he was 7 feet tall. He's another 6'9" wing.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? How often do those work out?
That's where the league is going.
Well, so he's Jaylen Brown?
Is that a bad thing? You say that like it's a bad thing.
I mean, look.
He's not Jaylen Brown.
Is that Jaylen Brown, 3rd pick in the draft? Is that the direction we're going? I'm sorry. I thought Debansa was like 7'1" and was doing these dribble moves and things like that. I didn't realize he's just another 6'9" schmuck on the wing.
Well, they all are. That leaves us with one guy, the 6'5" guy, Darren Peterson, who, by the way, hamstring, he has not been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a chance on him. Can he run point guard? We're gonna make him a point guard. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna make Darren Peterson into a point guard.
Yeah, here we go.
And that is his long-term projection.
I've seen this. Where have I seen this story before? Ridiculous. All right, let's have this conversation because Keegan did look really good in his return to the starting lineup. Keegan Murray, 37 minutes, 19 points, 3 of 18 from three-point land. He was a +1 on the night. He had 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 assist. Keegan, that was a really good game from Keegan. And he looked like a guy on a mission. So with that being said, let's do the thing. With all this swirling around, can Keegan turn things around? As I was saying that, do they want things to turn around? I mean, Scott Perry is sitting down with Sam Amick. Do they want it to turn around, honestly?
What does turn around even look like, too?
Be competitive? Like AC called in earlier and he said, this is what we want. We want effort. We want this. We want that. Scott Perry is sitting down talking about the future. That's what is going on.
Alan, I've pulled up again, it's too early in the season, but I've pulled up the Basketball Reference playoff probability predictor here. Do you want to guess what percentage chance they give them of making the play-in? Not the playoffs. What chance do they have to make the play-in? according to the playoff projection.
Yeah, I mean, 10 is the play, and what are they, 2 games back? I would say 30, 40?
They give them a 3% chance.
3%?
3% to make the play.
That must be because they're going to blow it up. That is crazy. They're 2 games out right now.
2 games out is crazy.
They're 2 games out of the 10 seed.
Yeah.
They get a win tonight.
With no Domantas Sabonis for the next month.
Yeah, they won without him.
That's still better than the Pelicans, who they're just giving 0.
I mean, they beat the Nuggets without Domantas Sabonis. Can we just, I get it, no Brown.
No Aaron Gordon.
No Aaron Gordon off a back-to-back.
No
still,
Strother.
I mean, I think that helped the Nuggets. But still, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, they 3% chance for the Kings to get to the play-in. So Keegan is only but a man. And every time we mention Keegan, we have to caveat that you know his dad.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with the family now.
Yeah, by the way, can we just establish this, that Allen, anytime we talk about Keegan Murray, he is bought and paid for.
No, that's not true.
His opinions
Don't say that.
Cannot be taken seriously.
Do not say that on the air. No. I can. What is the theme of this show every day? I can compartmentalize.
Yeah, once you go on NBA TV and say, hey, I had Keegan's dad on the show.
I'm trying to plug the show. By saying I'm cool with the Murrays. Okay?
With specifically Pops.
Yeah, I got, we text. It's cool. It's all good.
But anyways, Keegan Murray is but a man. Keegan Murray can only save so much. They're still playing him out of position.
Yeah.
So I just don't know even like his best performance is what. I mean, Allen, you had talked about, does he get the Trey Murphy runway to kind of just chuck and duck and figure it out? Might get his shot. By the way, Trey Murphy's taking 8 threes per game on the Pelicans.
He's better than Keegan. Look what he's doing.
But again, if Sabonis is out now, if DeRozan is available, if Westbrook and Monk and all the now might be your shot. To give Keegan that runway.
I think that's a great point. And we're going to see what Keegan can become. You're going to get something out of this season. I think that was the other part of Scott Perry, and we're about to dig deep into the Sam Amick article in about 6 minutes here. But the reality is we now know that they're not trying to fake it anymore. That was the biggest part of this. Here's the crazy part, though. When I said that the Kings could make the 8 seed, it was going to require them to play like they played against the Nuggets every night. That's what we talked about. A random Dennis Schroeder 21 points. A random, less random, but a random Russell Westbrook hot fourth quarter. They were going to have to play like that every day to sniff the 8 seed. And it was possible that they could have done it with Keegan Murray if they stayed healthy, but that's not how the cookie crumbled. But watching them, it made me feel better about that statement just because they did have Keegan and they didn't initially. But on the flip side of it, them realistically playing like that every single night against the first 20 games and the teams that they had to face, because they play like that. They probably beat the Thunder one of those games. They play like that. We'll see what happens. They got one more game against the T-Wolves tonight. They've already played them twice. They would have won that Laker game. They would have won that Suns game. And they would have been in a better position as they hit the easy part of their schedule. So watching that on Saturday made me think it was in there, but it was also still clunky. It still wasn't beautiful basketball. It still wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. It was still you go, I go. Dennis, think about it like this. Dennis Schroeder went off for 15 and because of the logjam had to sit in the fourth. He did not sniff the fourth until the 10-second mark. That's not good.
No.
It still wasn't a cohesive game. It just was a win, and that's what it would have taken for them to weirdly slide into the 8 seed. So as much as it made me feel better, I also realized how unrealistic it was because of how clunky. There's no system. To me, it doesn't even look like Jamal Murray ever sits. Does that brother ever sit? Does he ever sit? He's in all the time.
Well, and when he does, now they have Bruce Brown.
He's in all the time. But the Nuggets have their system. Valanciunas come in for these minutes. Then Jokic. Peyton Watson's going to come in. And then they're going to do this. And then they have a system. The Kings, they're just shooting from the hip a little bit. And that's the type of roster that they have. They don't have a cohesive roster. So they have a shoot from the hip roster. So that's how Doug is doing it. Who's hot today? Right? And then, hey, can't go away from what we've been doing. We got to put Russ out there, even though Dennis just went off. So let's see what happens.
By the way, Jamal Murray at 35 minutes per game is 15th in the league.
No, he's playing. He's playing more than
By
that.
the way, Tyrese Maxey's playing 40 minutes a game right now.
Yeah, look, I've defended Tyrese Maxey so many times. I'm just tired. I'm like that Popeyes meme. I'm just tired, man. Because of people like you that refuse to give Tyrese Maxey, yeah, he's a chucker. But nobody on that team can stay healthy. So dang it, let him do what he needs to do. And stop hating on him. On the other side, there will be some love and some hate from this Sam Amick article. And we are about to get in the depths as far as where the Kings are going. You are not going to want to miss this exclusive sit-down that Sam had with the Kings GM. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
No payments for 90 days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right, no payments until February 2026 on every new Ram, Jeep Wrangler, Gladiator, even the Pacifica. No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at the guaranteed lowest price. You can check out their full lineup at SacSuperstore.com or stop on by. They're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something. And right now, no payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
Hey everybody, we're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on for the Black Friday sales event, Chad?
Save big on the best-looking Jeep Grand Cherokee on the market when you save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the brand-new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X. This Grand Cherokee has all the bells and whistles you could ever want and more. People won't be keeping up with the Joneses. They'll be keeping up with you.
It's true. This has got to be the best-looking Jeep I've seen.
I didn't think Jeeps could look any better, but they did it. But Hoblet is more than just Jeep. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. We have over 220 vehicles waiting for you at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokees after 5,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 SFS bonus cash, must finance through Stellantis. 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 of this net savings, sample VIN 746799. See dealer for details.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Okay, it is time for the Sam Amick deep dive. Of course, we're not going to give you everything. Go out there, support Sam. TheAthletic.com is where you can find the full article, but we do want to give you, because we know you're running around and your life can't be revolved around sports like ours are, so we are going to give you some of the highlights here.
We're only going to take a little bit of money out of Sam's pocket.
I don't know why you say it like that, but
that's how journalists make money.
I understand that, Kyle, but reading it once on the air could be viewed as a promotion to do it, okay? Don't say it like that.
I mean, not if it's behind a paywall.
Don't say it like that. Sam, that's Kyle, not me. 916-339-1140. I want to start here with the autonomy piece because before we get into everything else, I think a lot of people want to know, hey, do you have control to do whatever you want? Dave asked Scott Perry on these airwaves, of course, and when you discuss whether or not he would say, no, I don't. Vivek is telling me what to do. Obviously, he's not going to say that. But I think this speaks to the fact that he knows that this is a thing, and he wants to be very clear on what's going on. I think it would be sketchier if he just never approached it or broached that issue, and he's broaching it all right. This is how it went down. This is the question from Sam Amick. When I spoke to you and your group heading into the preseason, there was definitely a fair amount of optimism that this would be a competitive team right now. From Doug, especially, there was a sense of, if we do this and if we do that, then we can make it work. With that in mind, what has been your reaction to this start? Scott Perry says, this season was about evaluation and also creating an environment that could lead to potential sustainable success. And we went into this season laser focused on the notion we want to compete at a high level and we want to create identity in how we want to play. We wanted to play fast. We wanted to be tough. And we wanted to become a better defensive team. Now, obviously, at this juncture, we have not been successful in that goal or that vision. So has that been disappointing? Yeah, that's been disappointing. But again, part of the evaluation is that you learn about everyone and everything here. It's still relatively early with a lot of basketball left to play, and there's still an opportunity to work on developing an identity in becoming a much more competitive team. That is what I will continue to do moving forward. So that's where I'm at right now. And here it is. And just for the record, I think it's important to note that I have the autonomy to do so and to be able to do those things. So Sam goes on to follow up there and says that's definitely something people will want to know more about. I've reported in the past before you came that Vivek played a significant part in the decision to fire Mike Brown, so on and so forth. And Scott Perry responds, when I use the word autonomy, I meant that. I'm not someone, and you know me well enough, that I'm not someone who will give lip service or say something that's not actual truth or fact. So as the fan base examines and looks at moves, they need to look at it from the time I got here to however long I'm going to be here. I'm going to have the ultimate autonomy and authority to make what I believe are the necessary decisions to give the fan base, this fan base that's been yearning for winning for so long, an opportunity to have that type of team to cheer for. So going back to what I said about an hour ago when it comes to the Valanciunas decisions and the Dennis Schroeder decisions, and I said maybe he's trying to appease his boss. Scott Perry is saying, Allen, everybody that listens to your show, everybody that is a fan of the Kings, I want y'all to know that that was me. So my response to that is that I disagree with those decisions.
Oh, I thought you were saying I don't believe you.
No. Can you imagine? I know. I'm going to take Scott Perry for his word and simply say that I disagree with that contract for Dennis Schroeder, and I disagree with the moves that they made that have ultimately led to squeezing out Keon Ellis by not picking up his option. Okay, these were Scott Perry decisions. Well, I can disagree with Scott Perry decisions. We all have opinions. That's fine. And he's saying no. This was not a Russell Westbrook as well. This was not a bring in a big name type deal. This was what he's telling us. I am going to trust Scott. I have no reason to not trust Scott Perry at his word. I've spoken with him time and time again. He is a straight shooter. Everybody that I've talked about, I said it about an hour ago or so. I talked to a lot of people about Scott Perry in the summer, and they all said one thing. He means what he says, and he says what he means. And he is about that business, and he's about winning. And he said it himself. I'm not going to give you lip service. Is there a way for him to say, I don't have autonomy? Not really. Well, Allen, what else is he going to say? You're not wrong, but you can believe him or not believe him. That's your opinion. I'm giving you this information. You can call in and say, Allen, I think it's bleep. And that's your opinion. I'm choosing to believe it's true. So because I'm choosing to believe it's true, I disagree with those moves.
Yeah, that's one part of it. You can take him at his word and then look at kind of what the evidence is pointing out. Like, the reason I still feel hesitant about the autonomy part is you, Scott Perry, are never going to be able to prove to me that Doug Christie was your hire as the head coach. There's just no way that's going to be provable to me.
Okay, let me stop you there. Should that be counted with the autonomy stuff? Because I'm personally not really counting it, because in my opinion, we all knew what it was.
But that was a term and condition of the hire.
Yes. Which is why I wouldn't count it.
But it starts off on a bad foot, right? If we're already starting with that, then we just kind of can go down. Look, maybe the personnel decisions were there, and maybe it's just a bad decision to bring in Dennis Schroeder. Like, if we're only going to give it 12 games, which, by the way, the Kings have ran 13 different lineup combinations this year already, but we gave it 12 games with him as the starter before you went to Westbrook.
It's crazy.
When you could have just signed Westbrook the whole time.
Yes, and maybe it's less about, well, I do think they gave Dennis Schroeder too much of a commitment, but I think you compounded it by bringing in Westbrook. Let me just broaden it. I think they missed on the point guard thing. I don't know how, because they brought in 4. But somehow they missed on the point guard thing.
Well, none of them were good enough, but we knew that they weren't going to be able to get a good enough point guard without trading significant assets to get there.
No, but I don't think so. We've had this conversation. Go get one of them Joneses. Go get Tyus or Trey.
I don't think the Jones would look any better than
I don't care.
Here. By the way, I already saw Orlando's complaining about Tyus Jones.
Well, I said Trey, the one in Chicago.
Well, they could have had him in the trade, but they didn't want him, okay?
Well, he wasn't there yet.
He was in San Antonio.
I said to go younger at the point guard position. Or like you said, I know Tyus didn't sign for 3 years, $45 million.
1 year, 8.
Yeah. Go get, if you do piecemeal it, but you can piecemeal it without moving on from Valanciunas, which is kind of moving on from Keon, to give Dennis Schroeder this money, who got benched 12 games in. That's a miss.
No, I agree with that point. By the way, it could have been even worse because they tried to move Malik Monk.
That's crazy.
They tried to move Malik Monk originally, which I think would have been worse than moving off of Valanciunas.
Yeah. So, cool. Scott Perry, and look, these are conversations. Scott Perry, he knows it's part of the job. Everybody is not going to agree. I don't even know that you can deny it, right? If you sign somebody, I know the third year isn't guaranteed, but if you sign somebody for 3 years, $45 million, right, to be your point guard, and they sat up there and they told us Dennis is going to do this, Dennis is going to do that. If they sat up there and said all that, and Dennis got benched 12 games in, just like when the Thunder signed Gordon Hayward, right, and they admitted that it was a miss. I don't know how you can say that the Dennis Schroeder thing, especially if you do end up losing Keon for nothing, how in the world could you say that the Dennis Schroeder signing wasn't a miss?
No, it was. But again, I think where people are caveating it was that a Scott Perry decision, or was that forced upon him? Like, we have to add a point guard.
He's telling us it was him.
Which makes that a bad... But I think what makes it as infuriating is, say you were going to go after one of the Joneses. Okay. You would have probably paid a little bit more than a minimum to get them. You got an incredible value signing for a player who is putting up 14... Look, we said at the start of the year, Dennis Schroeder gives you 14 and 7. That's what you should expect. Yeah. You have a point guard giving you 14 points, 7 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and is shooting 38% on 5.5 threes per game. Russell Westbrook has been everything that Dennis Schroeder was supposed to be, and you got him for nothing. You got one of the best value signings right before the season started across the board in the league, and you don't get any advantage for it.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
What is it?
It's a mini version. Well, not even. It's a mini version of the Falcons. Now, Penix is out.
Yes.
But Kirk Cousins is getting paid all this money to ride Pine. Now he's back in finally. But you were paying Kirk Cousins all this money, and you could have just signed Penix.
Yes, you just hit the nail on the head. The problem was not Westbrook.
No.
Moving into the starting lineup. The problem was adding Schroeder in the first place and deciding Malik Monk was not capable, or DeRozan or Lavine were not capable of running some pseudo point guard when the starter wasn't on the floor. It is, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It is Penix and Kirk Cousins to a different degree.
Right. Obviously
they're both old.
Yeah, that money is not the same, but it's right there. And 530 says Schroeder is still playing 30 minutes. Sure, sometimes. What did he play last? He didn't even close last. What did he play? Schroeder played 18 minutes. He played 18 minutes last game. He did not play in the fourth.
Yeah, here's his game logs real quick. So, since being moved to the bench, 35 minutes, 32, 25, 18.
And remember to the 530. Think about it like this. Schroeder was playing 30 minutes. Why? Because Russell Westbrook was their 4. Keegan comes back. Schroeder is not getting past 25 minutes coming off the bench. There's no way.
That's where the Keegan minutes are taken. First, it's going to take away from Precious Chua.
Yeah.
Then it's going to take away from Neek Clifford. Then it's going to take away from Dennis Schroeder, because you don't have to play Schroeder. No, as much as they try to convince us Schroeder and Westbrook on the floor together was a smashing success, you don't have to do that. You don't got to live like that.
No.
You don't got to live like that.
No. You moved up. Hey, you got your buddy. You know what I mean? He just got a new job. His apartment is a mess. Hey, man, whoa. You ain't got to live like this no more, man.
Yeah.
You got a good job. You making 6 figures. You ain't got to do that.
You got a Keegan Murray. You got a DeRozan. You got a Lavine.
No. Hey, man. Yo, what are you still making grilled cheese with an iron for, dude? Come on, man.
That's the equivalent of Schroeder and Westbrook both starting.
Hey, you ain't got to make that. You ain't got to put the iron down. Put it down, dude.
But
I can get you a George Foreman grill. Like, you're good now.
That's what's so crazy about the whole situation is, like, you had this great when Sabonis says all we need is a point guard, He's asked. I remember clear as day saying this before the season started when we talked about Westbrook or Dennis Schroeder expectations. This was before they signed Westbrook. I said, if Schroeder gives you 14 and 7,
right,
that's about as good as you can ask for. Westbrook is literally giving you that, and Dennis Schroeder is now just kind of lost in the sauce a little bit, and it was completely unavoidable or completely avoidable in the first place.
Yeah, and maybe honestly, did they suffer a little bit from some of the bad PR that Russell Westbrook had? Maybe that was part of it. If they knew in their heart of hearts, you know what? Because I do think that they needed a bat. I do think Russell Westbrook can't be alone. I think the argument is this. How much can they not stand Devin Carter? Like, if you were going to probably not be good anyway, right? You could have ran Russell Westbrook, had Devin for all of the holes that might be in Devin Carter's game. If you were going to look up and have 4 wins on the season anyway, be 4-13, you at least could have said, hey, well, we're saving a ton of money, right? We're going to see what Devin Carter can do every night. And Keon, we still could have seen if Keon could improve a bit playmaking, they could have went that way. So I applaud Scott Perry for sitting down with Sam Amick. It's easy to sit down when you're winning. It's easy to do these conversations or have these conversations when everything is honky-dory. But doing it when there's been issues, I appreciate that. So I applaud Scott Perry. And now that he has said this stuff out loud, it was a miss. Now, where I don't think it was a full-blown miss is I don't think not getting a 4 was a miss, because I don't believe that was something he mistakenly did. Right? I don't think he knew. I don't think he thought we're good at the 4 position. I think he said, I don't want to make a move prematurely and give up any assets that we might need later on, when I don't think that adding John Collins is going to make this team much better. And clearly, and they honestly couldn't have, because John Collins for DeRozan works right now, but John Collins was on the Jazz. So unless you're talking about some 3-team deal, there's nothing that I don't think Scott Perry wanted to, and I think it was a 3-team deal because the Heat Heat got Norman Powell, but trying to figure out what the Jazz would have wanted in that. I think he felt this team isn't going to be very good anyway, so I want to just hold all my cards. I think he missed on the Keon thing, and I think part of that connection and missing on the Keon thing was how they approached the point guard position. Those, to me, were have been the 2 initial misses. And you know what? I know that there are a lot of people, like my father, I was just talking to him earlier this morning on the drive in, that think that they could be a coach in the NBA, that think they could be a GM in the NBA, and I would never disrespect anybody in that position. But I will say this, there were a lot of callers and a lot of texters that did not want Dennis Schroeder. Now, they also didn't want Westbrook, but I think having them both, you kind of made, the issue is they made the Dennis Schroeder signing look worse by going and get Westbrook. If I were them, I wouldn't have got Westbrook, because if he does turn into prime Westbrook, your Dennis Schroeder signing looks worse.
Well, it just seems like it's annoying, right? Because Scott Perry had the vision with Westbrook, and against most conventional wisdom, it appears to be working.
Yeah.
Like, Westbrook shooting threes better than he has at any point in his career. Now, granted, do you want Westbrook at that high of a volume? Probably not. Are they still losing? Yes, they are still losing. But Westbrook isn't the problem. Or he isn't the first problem when it comes to them losing. So I guess it's just annoying that Scott Perry had the vision, and it looks like the vision would have worked, but they also then brought in Schroeder and waited on Westbrook until the Kuminga thing passed, which I think is the other point with the power forward, right? They tried to go get Kuminga. Now, they wouldn't give up the farm to get Kuminga, and I don't know if that was ever on the table, but they certainly tried to add a power forward. They spent all summer waiting in the wing for Kuminga.
They tried to get one. And I don't mind that, though, because if we're going to go get somebody, he's going to be under 25, right? And the guy that seemed somewhat available was Jonathan Kuminga for a depressed depressed asset, and the value was down. I'm telling you, I don't have a problem about how he approached the 4 because I think that was part of the plan. I think the point guard thing was a miss, though, how they approached it. Go get Trey Jones. Go get him.
Yeah, I think the Schroeder, and again, I don't know how a conversation about autonomy has led to this, but yes, I do think the Schroeder thing now, in hindsight, looks like, not that it's going to inhibit them because it's only a 2-year deal, but it's like he's just kind of, again, lost in the rotation a little bit.
Think about it like this, Kyle. And it's interesting if you think about it this way, right? You have two guys now at what, 15 mil and 18 mil. You want to talk about, I don't want to call it bad business, Kyle, but you have two guys now making $33 million combined coming off the bench. Dennis Schroeder and Malik Monk. That's not great.
And you could argue they're both not even your best bench player right now.
Probably not, no, because it's Westbrook.
Yeah.
So you have $33 million coming off the bench.
Yeah. On a team that is also very, like, it's not like you're getting a great value in the starting lineup.
On a team, granted, $33 million coming off the bench on a team where the owner doesn't want to go into the luxury tax. That's a problem. It's one thing if you just paying luxury tax, second apron, fourth apron, fifth apron, green apron, blue apron, red apron. I don't care. I'm cashing out. But when you have been told, and we have been told, the Kings do not want to go into the luxury tax, and two of your guys, one guy making 15 a year, one guy making 18, two of them are coming off the bench, that is bad business.
Well, it's also on a team where your 3 highest paid players make a combined $115 million too, right? It's like, that's fine if you have like Jalen Williams at $10 million a year because he's on a rookie contract. That's not fine when you have Lavine, Sabonis, and DeRozan making a combined $115 million.
I just pulled up a very random, and this might actually work against me, but I'm pretty sure both of these guys slot in. So I just pulled up the Cavs just for fun. Cavs, and it goes in order on Fanspo here. Donovan starts $46 million. Mobley starts $46 million. Darius Garland starts $39 million. DeAndre Hunter is an interesting one because he's at $23 million and he's been there. I know he's probably started some.
He's starting more now.
Yes. So hybrid, he's at $23 million. Jared Allen starts $20 million. After that, you get Max Strus, who has started before, at 15, and then Lonzo at 10. So there is that drop off. So I guess you could argue maybe some teams tend to have, you can't have more than 2, I guess, but even still, DeAndre Hunter's starting now. Now, Kyle, I'm on the, and I'm doing this blind. I'm on the Magic now.
By the way, DeAndre Hunter's scoring 18 points per game this
Please
year,
don't start with me. You know he's my guy. Him, Obi, Rui Hachimura.
And Denny.
Denny is a different level. Denny is mini Luka. If you watch him, he's got some Luka in him.
That's crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm not kidding.
By the way, just back to the last segment we did, Maxi's the only player in the league shooting more than Luka.
Good. Good.
He's just Bradley Beal.
No, he's not.
He's Bradley Beal in the Wizards.
Franz Wagner, $38 million, starter. Desmond Bane, $36 million, starter. Jalen Suggs, $35, terrible contract, but starter. Paolo Banchero, his is about to start, right? And we know he's a starter. After that, Kyle, Jonathan Isaac, which is now a bad deal, right? He's at 15.
But the money's all voidable because his agent, he needs to fire his agent.
Well, yes, that's a conversation for a different day. And then you get a funny situation with Wendell Carter Jr. and Goga Bitadze, who they kind of swap off, but Wendell is making 10, Goga is making 8. That's pretty much the same thing. And Wendell is only 26. Goga is only 26? I thought he was older than that.
That can't be true.
That can't be true.
Goga Bitadze is 38. There's no way.
Okay, so that's enough examples. My point remains, and luckily I did not throw myself under the bus. My point remains, there are not a lot of teams that have $33 million combined coming off the bench. There's not.
At least contenders.
No.
I mean, the only one I can think of is the Warriors with Kuminga.
Oh, yeah. And Moody. Kuminga, Moody, and Buddy. That's an expensive bench.
And Al Horford now.
Yeah. But we know that. But Kuminga, they're supposed to move off him for a probable starter. That was their plan. So some hits, some misses with Scott Perry so far, but all in all, at least he is being honest about the situation and being transparent about it. Let's continue the conversation. I know what everybody wants to know, so you cannot move, okay? Because everybody wants to know what the value is of DeMar, Malik Monk, Keon Ellis, Domantas Sabonis. We have that for you, but you have to stay until the other side. We're back in about 3 minutes. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Monday, looking at the fog lifting and mixing out, especially just before noon. As we get into the afternoon time frame, we should return to mostly sunny skies, light winds, and temperatures seasonable. Highs today in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winning 1K is easy. Just turn the key for a G. Take a test drive at any dealership at the Roseville Auto Mall to be entered to win. The Roseville Auto Mall is giving away $1,000 every day through December 19. Turn the key, take the drive, and win a G. Only at the Roseville Auto Mall.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-292-4382. That's 800-292-4382. 800-292-4382.
Some nights just call for something better, a place above the noise, where the skyline glows and the energy feels effortless. That place is Revival at the Sawyer, Sacramento's rooftop escape. All November long, show your Sactown Sports app and enjoy buy one, get one half off beverages. Whether it's golden hour with friends or late night laughter under the city lights, Revival's the place to see and the place to be seen. Revival at the Sawyer, the view, the vibe, the moment. Reserve your table at revivalsacramento.com. Offer valid once per visit per person.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Working through some of the highlights from Sam Amick's article. You can check out the full thing. Support our guy Sam at The Athletic. Got purchased by New York Times a couple years ago now.
He's got those good benefits then.
Well, yeah. I would hope so. He deserves it. So,
yeah, New York Times is the place to be if you're a journalist.
So we were discussing the autonomy conversation that Scott Perry invited as he was speaking with Sam Amick. And now we're going to get into the fun stuff, what everybody obviously wanted to hear about, which is what the value or perceived value is with the vets. And this is in the notes side of what Sam had to say in the article. It doesn't take a detective's license to deduce that Murray, Clifford, and Reynaud are considered part of the Kings' long-term future. Yet, when it comes to the possibility of them making moves with their highest-priced players, the market might prove to be challenging. Big man Domantas Sabonis, who is out at least 3 weeks after suffering a partial tear in his left meniscus, is owed a combined $94 million in the next 2 seasons. Lavine, who league sources say has no clarity as to whether he'll pick up his player option for next season, $48.9 million, has hardly been playing well enough to inspire suitors of late. That changed so fast. Remember we were sitting here first couple weeks, hey, somebody come get him. And it just, the back, man. Do not mess with back injuries. And I know it wasn't supposed to be terribly serious, and maybe I'm giving him an excuse. I don't know, but it went south. I won't say south, but it cooled off quickly, very, very quickly.
I mean, he's also taking less shots now.
Yeah.
That's the other weird thing. I mean, he took a fair number in the last game. He took 14, but he was shooting like 17 a game, near 30 points, and it's just all gone downhill since.
DeMar DeRozan, the 36-year-old who league sources say has some interest from the Los Angeles Clippers, has a partial guarantee on his deal for next season, approximately $10 million of his $25.7 million. Malik Monk, who was part of the Jonathan Kuminga trade talks with Golden State in the summer that are likely to be revisited, has a combined $41.7 million on his deal in the next 2 seasons, including a 2027-2028 player option. Why Sam got to say it like that? It sounds like a lot of money when you say it like that, Sam.
Well, he's not even saying the whole thing. It's that there's also a player option on top of it.
You say it like that, Sam. Say it differently. Don't say it like that.
Honestly, saying a combined $63 million over 3 years doesn't make it better.
No, say it one by one, Sam. The list goes on from there with fourth-year guard Keon Ellis, $2.3 million expiring deal, widely seen as one of the most coveted Kings players among rival teams. I did want to get to this note as well before we discuss the values. Sam asked, so could we see some of these older vets see less time on the floor in exchange for developmental priorities? This is something that I know a lot of people have been on. Scott Perry, look, the mission for Doug and the coaching staff and the players is that we've got to compete every night and we have to develop their identity. So whoever's going to provide that for us on the court on a constant basis needs to be playing. If that's the young guys, then yes. If the veteran guys are providing that on a consistent basis and pushing us forward, then okay, we'll look at that too. But we're about doing what's right for the organization, not just in the short term, but more importantly, in the long term. That's what I'm thinking for. It's guys like Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud, Keegan Murray, and that's how it ends. There was just some parentheses there of explaining who they are. Some of the younger players on the roster will get an opportunity to grow and play and put their hands in with the collective and show that they can be a part of a group that contributes to sustainable winning. The only way you're going to find that out is to actually get them out there in game competition. Yeah, so he doesn't say Keon Ellis.
Well, Keon Ellis isn't a young player, is he? I guess even though he's the same age as Keegan.
He's the same age as Keegan. So he does not say Keon Ellis.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, I'm starting to believe you.
Everything that they are showing you, not saying to you, but showing to you, is that Keon Ellis is not a long-term part of this plan.
Yeah, there is no mention of Keon Ellis. And look, don't lose. Here's where I'm at. Don't lose him for nothing. That's where I'm at.
You're already over. They're not going to re-sign him.
I mean, there's no mention. Things, I don't know what happened. Maybe he's looking at it as a, hey, maybe truth serum. I probably should have went about this a different way, or maybe the truth serum is I just still think I'm going to get something back for him.
I mean, even the decision to draft Nick Clifford puts it in the other direction, right? Because we were talking about this before. If you can only prioritize one, because you got to play all the veterans, would you rather it go to Nick Clifford or to Keon Ellis?
Nick.
There's a conversation to be had for both, but I think, Nick is the direction they are choosing. And if I'm Scott Perry, of course I'm going to pick Nick. Nick is my first draft pick. Nick is the guy I traded back into the first round to get.
A separate argument is you did not have to put yourself in that position, but they wanted Nick.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now.
Which, by the way, Nick has 4 years of team control before he hits restricted free agency.
Yeah. So as far as the vets, the most intriguing pieces here, DeMar DeRozan and some interest from the Clippers, and then Sam saying that the Jonathan Kuminga trade, which is likely to be revisited. From everything I'm hearing with the Warriors, I know we had the conversation about Malik and Keon. Sounds like they really don't want another guard. That isn't ideal to them.
Yeah,
but they might be in a tough spot. But
they already got 3 of them that can't shoot right now.
Yeah, but Malik Monk, Keon Ellis, I guess more so Keon Ellis, still doesn't seem like somebody that the Warriors think they need. Keon Ellis will help a playoff contender for sure, but the Warriors feel like that itch is already being scratched. They need a different itch scratched is how I would understand it. And I would take a look at, if the Warriors got John Collins, I know it's not a sexy name and he's expiring, but I think he'd be good enough to be some form of a third option for them, and the Clippers would get younger with Kuminga. I think that's something to look at. As far as DeMar DeRozan is concerned, the Bogdanovich thing that you brought up, I'm to the point where I would buy out DeMar DeRozan. So I don't really care, to be frank with you. I don't really care about the DeMar DeRozan return. This is no disrespect to DeMar. I'm just looking. If Scott Perry is going to do these sit downs and talk about the future, then who am I to hold my tongue as far as where this team is going? Clearly, DeMar is not in their future. So I'm of the mindset, I want DeMar to be free. I want him to compete. I don't need to sit back and wait and try to find the perfect deal. If you can't find it, I know you can't buy out till after the trade deadline. If you can't find it, then do what you need to do.
Well, I mean, you can buy out before the deadline. It just doesn't make sense to do it. You wait to see if you can get a trade.
Sure, yes.
So you're at the inflection point where you just think clearing out the logjam and either moving Keegan back to the 3 or giving Nick Clifford runway to start, you think that is more valuable than
whatever you're going to get back from
whatever. Okay.
That's how I feel. Because like we said, there's no fluctuating value with DeMar, right? Now, I guess it could have dropped if he was a trash can, but he's still DeMar.
Sure, but I still want 2 second-round picks.
Yeah, give us the picks.
Yeah, but
give us a picks.
But you're saying if you don't get the 2 second-round picks, just get rid of them anyways.
Yeah, that's how I don't.
Okay.
Because whatever team is out there, you're going to have to get something back. And if you're looking, you still have to get what? The specific.
You're saying the money.
John Collins is expiring, so that would work.
Yeah.
Right? But you're going to want expiring contracts. You don't want to take on more.
Well, expiring or 2027, right? No money beyond 2027. Right, they mentioned
depends who it is, man.
Let me look up Bogdanovic's contract because that's the one people keep adding into the trade also. Which, by the way, he's
and do they need that?
They need Bogdanovich? No, but Bogdanovich is just there to be there.
And now Malik Monk is okay. Well, I can't get in.
But so Bogdanovich, $16 million this year, $16 million club option next year.
Okay.
So you can decline it or keep it depending on what you want to do. Yeah. Honestly, I'm in on that. I mean, I know we talked about it last week, but it just seems too perfect. Just do DeRozan for Bogdanovich and throw in another contract.
I'd actually argue, well, you're trading for the money flexibility, really, because I'd actually argue that it's perfect because it makes less sense than John Collins, so you wouldn't really be improving the team.
So you're saying the pseudo soft tank?
Yes. Let's go get another 6'5" shooting guard. Okay.
He could be a small forward.
Sure. Yeah, he could. Great. And
just like DeRozan.
Yeah, just like DeRozan. Play him whenever you feel like playing him, and that would honestly be a better long-term option than John Collins, because John Collins might mess around and help you win games.
Also, Bogdanovich is hurt.
Great. Not great that he's hurt, but hey, whatever you need to do. Okay, get better soon, Bogdanovich. But whatever you need to do to give yourself as much flexibility as possible and keep yourself in a good position. When we return, Zack Lavine, that conversation is going to get interesting. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace. and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right. No payments until February 2026. Find them online at SacSuperstore.com, and they're centrally located right across from Hayden Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
Let the record show I asked Frankie Cardicelli, who is in the building, to come on the show, and he said no. He stopped by. We spoke about some things, and I said, "Hey, you want to pop on?" And he said no.
We bring the
no, we're done.
That's what we do.
We're done. So I just wanted y'all to know that. I tried to get him on, get his thoughts on the Sam Amick article. He said no.
Well, he's a busy man. He's running the whole website.
Yeah. He said no. Just wanted y'all to know that. I tried.
We bring the boom. That's what we
He's
do.
got to go to shoot around, man, you know.
Yeah. He's got to go. They always got to go. 916-339-1140. Let's see what's going on the text line. Jeff, one of our P1 texters, says, I'm not sold on Perry yet. He got rid of Valanciunas, brought in Saric, didn't pick up Keon's option, got rid of Jones. I mean, we're piling up some misses in a short amount of time. I don't disagree with you, Jeff. I just think that they're all connected, right? Everything you just said is connected to Dennis Schroeder. So to me, it's funny if you want to look at it as multiple misses. I hear you. I look at that as one decent-sized miss, not three, because it's all connected to the money that they wanted to give to Dennis. It's all connected, and the Keon thing. I know people go back and forth. There are a lot of people, and I'm one of them. You know, oh well, Keon's not going to be the savior. He's not going to be this. He's not going to be that. But don't lose him for nothing. And I've said that, and I said that when the whole thing came out about him being untouchable in the Kuminga deal. I said that the next day as I was getting killed by the rest of Sacramento media. I said, okay, then don't lose him for nothing. If you don't want to include him in the Kuminga deal, fine. Do not lose him for nothing.
So I think from the Kings' standpoint, like the perfect team, and again, any playoff team could trade for him because his contract is so small, but I think the team that would ideally pay the most is one that has their own first-round pick this year, because that would be worth it for the Kings, and is approaching that second apron number to the point where like they can't make a bigger trade, essentially. They need the financial flexibility, and they'd be willing to give up like draft picks. So I just pulled up the cap tables for this year, just the highest cap numbers this year. You've got Cleveland, could maybe make sense. I actually don't know if they have a pick or not this year, but again, Cleveland possibly. Looks like they don't have a first round. Oh no, they do. 24th. They have the 24th pick as it stands right now.
The other boozer,
the bad boozer,
Caden.
Well, we could get the 24th pick in the draft if Cleveland wanted to go offense, defense there. Minnesota, we talked about that. Minnesota should be all in on Keon Ellis. Warriors, probably not. Dallas, that's just sad.
I got a crazy question.
Yeah.
Do you think, who says no? Keon for Rob Dillingham.
Is Minnesota trying to trade for John Morant? Because if they're trying to get John Morant, they need Dillingham.
I don't know. Okay. I'm just saying who says no.
Probably Minnesota.
I think so too, but I just wanted to ask.
Probably.
Because he can't play.
Yeah, no, he's not going to make it, but they just got to keep him around long enough to trick someone else to take him.
Exactly.
The Knicks, Hey, Mike Brown. Mike Brown's playing his bench players now.
Look, man.
If he gets Keon back.
No, he'll put a stop to all that.
Lakers probably no. Phoenix probably no.
Well, no. On social media. The
Lakers fans want Keon?
Brendan Nunez gouged my eyes out, sent us an AI of Keon, and it was one of the best AIs I've seen of Keon Ellis in a Lakers, not just in a Lakers jersey. He was doing a press conference.
Lakers
after a post-practice press conference in a Laker jersey.
The Lakers have their own first, although I assume it's one of those things where they can't trade it until the draft because you can't trade picks in multiple years. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that exactly would work for the Lakers because I thought they didn't have any picks until like 2032.
They keep saying, here, take Gabe Vincent is what they keep saying.
Yeah.
He is expiring.
I guess, but the Kings need a pick. That's kind of the bigger thing. They need a draft pick. And I guess maybe they're not happy with Marcus Smart. Just going through a few of them, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Rockets could still do the Tari Eason swap.
Oh, yeah. I'm holding out hope, baby. Tari's injured right now, so, hey, he's not helping you.
I don't think that one's going to happen, but still holding out hope. Yeah, I mean, those are kind of the teams that would most be interested in going for Keon. Again, I just think Minnesota is perfect, and Minnesota has some first-round pick this year. I know I saw it. Yeah, Minnesota's got their own first this year, so... But I think it's like pick swappable with the Jazz.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen because the Jazz are going to stink. But I just feel like that's your move.
916-339-1140. Let's get to Sonny, who wants to talk Kings Nuggets. What's up, Sonny? What you got for us?
Hey, I'm out here in Georgia, and so I had to make the decision to stay up until 1 a.m. to watch that game. I'm really glad I did. And what was most impressive, it wasn't because of our rebounds, our three-point shooting, or our blocks, or our steals. We by far had more in other games. Mm-hmm. But, only having 7 turnovers, 23 points, on fast breaks, 62 points in the paint, but most importantly, the 96% on the free throws, which were all season highs. If we didn't have that free throw percentage, we lose that game. And, I'm glad they stuck in there, and it was not a good-looking game by any means. It was a gritty game, but glad to see them finally do something, and turn it around, especially against a by far superior opponent.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Sonny. Sonny is, I think, a longtime listener, but lives in Georgia now, and Sonny's been calling in, and we really appreciate Sonny. Is that 3 hours or 2?
It's 3.
Okay, so it is almost 4 o'clock in Georgia. So appreciate the call, Sonny. Keep them coming. And, the interesting thing, if you are a Kings fan, is it was a good effort. And again, the compartmentalizing thing is going to get tough. Because let's think, Kyle, today. This article comes out about Scott Perry clearly thinking about the future, and Jake Fisher, clearly these guys are available. How are Kings fans? It's such a weird position for the players to be in. That's what we talked about. But think about the fans. Think about Sonny. So tonight, they run out. Keon don't play, right? Neek plays under 10 minutes again, and they beat the Timberwolves, right? When Scott Perry just sat down with Sam Amick saying that this thing essentially has a timeline. How happy are you? I know I talk about compartmentalizing, but there's also compartmentalizing. There is a level where this is kind of hustling backwards. Like if they win tonight, right, and none of the young guys play on a team that we know has an expiration date, how are you supposed to feel as a fan?
Here, I'll give you a reference point, Allen. For them, from this point forward, to get to 40 wins on the season, which is where they were last year, they would have to play, they would have to win 55% of their games. So they would have to play at a 46-win pace for the rest of the season just to get to 40 wins. Like, it's just not. And by the way, 40 wins might be the 9 seed in the West this year, but it just seems like it's not going to happen, no matter how hot they get.
So does that basically mean, hey, it doesn't really matter? There's no harm in fans just enjoying the games because they're not going to be good enough to to mess up their draft stock, really.
I would recommend, for the health and sanity of Kings fans, again, fan how you want to fan, but I would recommend not hinging all of your emotion on the draft odds. Like, be happy if it happens that you get a top 3 pick, but just know, A, you're probably odds are against you. No matter what pick you end up with, odds are against you. And B, even if you don't get a top 3 pick, you're still going to get a pretty solid player.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be maybe the next Debanza or Darren Peterson, but it's going to be a solid player, and maybe, just maybe, you'll defy the odds and you get the next great player at pick 8, Franz Wagner or something.
Something you just said sparked something in me, and I want to have a conversation about it. And we've talked about it from the standpoint of having the number 1 pick, but let's talk about it as far as dropping out of that top 3. And let's also get to that Zack Lavine news that I wanted to share with you. It's all coming up in the 1 o'clock hour, 30 minutes, commercial-free talk, only here at the home, the Sacramento Kings. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton and Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Cameron, I just think we need to, see other people.
Are you trading me in?
No. A trade-in is what I'm getting from Kitchen Mart.
A trade-in?
Right now, Kitchen Mart's offering a $750 credit when you trade in your old kitchen countertops for something worth showing off, like granite, marble, or solid surface.
I'm not worth showing off?
Not like the stunning new quartz countertops Kitchen Mart just installed for Karen and Tom.
Huh.
Durable, easy cleanup, made their kitchen look brand new. And Kitchen Mart gave them a $750 trade-in credit to haul off their ugly old tile and grout countertop.
You're dumping me.
That's harsh. You want me to wait till I get the new countertops from Kitchen Mart?
At least hold off till Wednesday. I'm seeing Susan.
Susan!
Now's the perfect time to trade up to beautiful new quartz, granite, marble, or solid surface countertops. Because for a limited time, Kitchen Mart's offering a $750 trade-in credit for your old countertops. Go to kitchenmart.com today and schedule a free in-home consultation and save $750 off new countertops.
No one does it better than kitchenmart.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell me all about the Black Friday sales event.
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. Or, if that deal isn't good enough, lease one for as little as $189 a month for 36 months.
Ooh, my brother had one of these and he absolutely loved it.
Most people who do love its versatility. But Hoblet is more than just Jeep. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. We have over 220 vehicles waiting for you at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings after $92.50 factory rebates and $37.50 dealer discounts. Rebates include $92.50 lease bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. Residency restrictions apply. $189 special lease with $19.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over for well-qualified buyers with 720 plus FICO score, plus tax, license fees, and dealer accessories. To get this net savings, VIN numbers 546328, 546330. See dealer for details.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
For Kings Talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
One more hour with you. This show has flown by. I almost said this game. This show has flown by, and we still have a ton. We didn't even talk about Chip Kelly finally getting canned and Shador.
We haven't even talked about this crazy Brandon Ayuk thing.
No. Brandon Ayuk.
I guess you kind of did off the top.
Yeah, saying, I want to get out of here. It's so bad. I will say no to $25 million, and I won't fight it. I think he said he won't fight it because he knows he broke the rules, right? How this looks as the Niners, how this looks if you are the Niners, the buyer's remorse that we've talked about. Brandon Ayuk he's going to find his way to the Commanders. And I would say if you're the Commanders, are the Commanders, what is it, Kyle? What is it with these teams? And they haven't done it yet, but the wide receiver position, and we're about to get to Zack Lavine, and we're about to get to what Kyle led me to about the draft, but about the NBA draft. What is it with wide receivers? It's the most confusing position to me in the NFL, and I would say maybe sports. Some days I wake up, it feels like you can just spawn receivers, right? Anywhere. Other days I wake up, it seems like you can't, right? All these teams, the Bills, they have these kind of tier 2 guys, these 2 receivers that they just have said, we're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna find a way. The Jaguars, no, we're gonna go get Jacoby Myers, right? Who he's a wide receiver 2, and we're just gonna have 2 elite 2. It reminds me of the Kings. We're just gonna have 2 elite 2s instead of having a number 1. So it almost is starting to replicate the running back position, where there are a lot of wide receivers, but only a couple truly elite wide receivers, like the Jacoby. And I don't know if Brandon Ayuk crosses over because he wants to go to the Commanders. Okay, cool. Terry McLaurin can't stay healthy. Can we just have that conversation? He did the holdout thing, right? Comes back, and he can't stay healthy. So now you're going to have, okay, fine, go to your ASU buddy, Brandon Ayuk, with Jaden Daniels. Fine, whatever. So now you're going to have Scary Terry for 7 games, Debo for 7, and Brandon Ayuk and his whatever is left of his knee that we do not know.
Whatever's going on there.
Like, enough. Just stop it. Just go get a receiver.
What's so interesting about the receiver thing now is that outside of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, pick whoever your next person is, like the modern NFL is so much about motion and the slot guys that it's like, what makes an elite receiver? Puka Nacua getting 15 catches.
Yeah, my favorite receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
Right? He's 6, he says 6 foot, but I mean, it's almost turning into, I think it says 6'1". It almost is turning into a cerebral position, right? Like Emeka Egbuka. I understand that they haven't had, Chris Godwin was on a pitch count yesterday. Mike Evans can't stay healthy, but hey, go be our number 1. And I know Baker, he's my fantasy guy, so that was a rough night last night. Hey, go be our number 1. He's not there yet, right? Is he protected any less than Jackson Smith-Njigba? They got the same measurables, but Jackson Smith and Jigba at this point is just better at finding creases, and I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know what it is, but it is so hard to evaluate the wide receiver position, and I'm probably going to go through Kyle. I don't know about pre-injury. I liked Brandon Ayuk, but post-injury, brother, I got about 15, maybe 20 receivers that I'm rattling off before I get to Brandon Ayuk. And he went, didn't he go to JUCO in Rockland? So shout out. But I got about 20 receivers I'm bringing up before I get to BA.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. I mean, the modern football is moving. A lot of these offenses are moving towards the slot guys. There's still room for the big play guys, but the Giants are running Malik Neighbors in the slot.
And they're hybrid slots because Jackson can catch outside the numbers too.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's following the model of Cooper Kupp / Puka Nacua. Yeah. And that's the direction a lot of these teams are going with receivers.
Or they're small. They're Zay Flower, right? Or they're just smaller. Yeah. I mean, I missed my time, Kyle. I'd be retired right now.
I don't know. I mean, I looked up your boy Troy Franklin. Him and Bo Nix got that connection. He's 6'2".
He's a big boy.
He's 6'2".
But no, you still need and that's what they're saying in SF. Everybody is saying we want an X. But I believe that Kyle Shanahan doesn't think they need an X.
I don't know what they need, honestly.
If you're going to, I think here's the moral of the story. Then we'll get to Zack Lavine because I know people want to hear about that and about the draft. If you're going to say, I want to go traditional and get an X, very similar, it still parallels to basketball here. An X could be a center, right? You want to be a center-driven team. If you want to have an X, that X better be a stud. If not, then I think the league feels like we can get by with a decent X, and an X is typically runs your wide receiver 1 routes, and then a bunch of kind of slot-ish type guys. So if you think you have a dude, like to me, my boy from Arizona Tech, McMillan, that dude, he's looking like an X.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's someone, now the Mr. Raccoon boy.
What?
The guy who eats the raccoons.
What?
Xavier Legette.
What?
Yeah, he eats raccoons.
I don't know about this.
Yes.
What?
He was supposed to be a poor man's Debo, and he's not. You haven't seen it? Oh, yeah, I need to eat these raccoons. You haven't seen that?
Xavier Legette brought some leftover raccoon from Christmas to practice.
It's about that time.
That's insane.
So I don't know. He's like not a bust, but kind of is a bust, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this last week. All those 2024 picks, no one's happy. The only one who's happy is Ladd McConkey and Troy Franklin.
And Ladd is a good example because he's not an X. He's not an X receiver.
Yeah, but the Chargers, again, the best receivers are the ones that can do it all. It's guys you can move between the slot and the outside.
That's why JSN is probably going to be the best receiver pretty soon here.
And we can move past it in a sec, but that's also why the Niners are trying Ricky Pearsall in the slot.
That's a good call.
They are trying to have Ricky Pearsall be that.
Do you think they see Jackson Smith in Jigba and they say Ricky can do that?
I hope they don't. Let's put it that way.
End it there. Just end it there. 916-339-1140. Well, Ricky need to do something because he's on my fantasy team tonight. All right. Let's go with the NBA draft first, and then we got the Zack Lavine stuff. So, Kyle, you said something to me, and I want to broaden this out because you said, hey, just enjoy the season. If you get a top 3 pick, cool. If you don't, Kings fans, it's all good. So you said something, and I'm paraphrasing here. And a couple weeks ago, we had the conversation about, would it be nice if the Kings get the 3rd pick because they would not have the burden of having the first pick and being wrong.
Of bagling it.
Yes, because the chances that all 3 of these guys are generational, they're there. Sure, there was 2003. That was a great year, but the chances of all 3 of them being the same level of star in the NBA is low. So we talked about if the Kings got the 3rd pick, then they wouldn't have to worry about it. Kyle, I'll even expand it. Do you think in Kings fans' minds, as much as they're running the Tankathon and they want a top 3 pick and they want the number 1 pick, do you think there would be a level of relief if the Kings got the number 4 pick? Do you think Kings fans would be annoyed? Obviously. But do you think there would be a level of relief because, hey, at least we can't screw it up? Because every time people talk about tanking, that is the one thing that is the argument against tanking. I don't trust this organization to make the right pick. So if you got the 4th pick, you'd still feel like you're going to get a really good player, but you're weird. And I would say, Kyle, specifically this year when there's so much on the line with these 3 guys and it's so confusing and polarizing as to who's going to be the number 1 pick in the order, specifically this year, would there be a weight off of everyone's back in Sacramento if they got the number 4 pick and they can just – now, you would say if all 3 of them do become generational, we were 1 pick away from getting one of those top 3, but you're also 1 pick away from not being or being the team that got it wrong. Even if it's not your fault, if you get number 3 that got it wrong. Because now people are talking about – I think he's on Arizona – there is a Caleb. Is another guy floating around. I think he might be at UNC, but
Caleb Wilson.
Caleb Wilson. Now they're starting this thing with Caleb Wilson, where he should be a top 3 pick. So it's going to be, and I'm excited for it. But Kings fans, so much history in these picks. I think there would be a level of relief if you just got number 4.
I just kind of think there's no bad answers, right? But this is kind of my point is like, if you are the team that is trying to just go one and done in the lottery and get that top prospect and now everything's going to be okay, most of the time it doesn't work that way.
But I don't think they're going to try that anymore. I mean, this is what Scott Perry's telling us. There's going to be some level of a process.
You got to spend multiple years, and we mentioned before, they have 2 top second-round picks this year, too, like higher than where Maxime Reynaud was going to get picks next year. So you can just bring those guys in. You'll have your first-round pick in 27. If the OKC pick conveys, that one will go to them. But other than that, like if the Spurs fall off the face of the earth, you'll get the Spurs pick. So I just think you're trying to get as many shots at the board as you can. It's not about just getting it in 1 year. And by the way, I think there's no wrong answers because at the 4th pick, you're probably going to get a very talented player.
Yeah.
Like Amon Thompson was the 4th pick 2 years ago. If the Kings had an Amon Thompson to put alongside Keegan Murray and Nick Clifford, we'd feel like, boom, we've got our wings of the future.
Torsha Jackson says, we could have 7 number 1 overall picks and I'd be worried. Vincent Ramirez says, number 1, I don't care what pick as long as we get Caleb Wilson, and then goes on to say, there isn't that guy in the draft this year, though. And I don't know if Vincent means there's not a miss. Vincent, there's always a miss. There's always a miss.
There is always a miss, or someone you could have had that you didn't get. That's the other thing. Like the Keegan Murray thing, I think back, and we can do this experiment too, I was kind of putting it together, but in that 2022 class, the Kings got Keegan Murray, but 8 picks later was Jalen Williams. I'm sure they would love to have Jalen Williams instead of Keegan Murray.
And people do the same, and that's what gets dicey, and that's what annoys me. Warriors fans do this all the time, where somebody had a conversation one time, and they say, can you imagine him with Steph? And they do it all the time. It annoys me. But that's a Franz Wagner thing, right? It's the redraft, and Franz, where he went, and the team that had a top 3 pick. Man, we missed on Franz. You did, but he wasn't projected to go that high.
Right. To that point, I'm just going to go through the Keegan draft class again. Like, stop me when you hear a bad pick. Okay. Paolo Banchero, number 1. Number 2, Chet Holmgren. Number 3, Jabari Smith Jr. Number 4.
Real quick, watching that Rockets-Nuggets game, I got to be honest. I was he was bricking a lot, don't get me wrong, but the way Jabari Smith moves, I didn't know he had that much wiggle. He can move a little bit.
You got a little wiggle?
You got a little wiggle. I did not know that. I'm not going to do the Keegan Murray comparison, but
they're pretty similar.
I would say if he figures some things out, they got something there. And so do the Kings with Keegan, but I did not know he could move like that. Go on, please.
Jabari Smith Jr. 3, Keegan Murray 4, Jaden Ivey 5, Benedict Mathurin 6.
They're NBA players, but I don't know what Jaden Ivey's going to be.
7, Shaedon Sharp.
Nice.
8, Dyson Daniels.
Woo.
9, Jeremy Sohan. 10, Johnny Davis. 11, Ousmane Dieng.
He just jumped off a cliff.
12, Jalen Williams. 13, Jalen Duren. 14, Ochai Agbaji. 15, Mark Williams. We can stop there.
Yeah.
But the idea is like there's almost no bad answers, right? Every draft class is going to have a couple, but there's no bad answer with any of these lottery
And I think
picks.
Kings fans are worried about that. They're worried that no matter what, the Kings will find the whammy.
Okay, so let's do the optimistic outlook just real quick before we go. So I went back just 6 draft classes. These are the players who either won Rookie of the Year or have made an All-Star team. Now I'm going to take away the names and just give you the draft pick number.
All right.
Okay? These are the best case scenarios. So 2019, number 1, number 2, number 5, number 13.
Spraying the board, baby. Love that.
Yeah. 2020, number 1, number 3, number 12, number 21.
I don't know. That's a little random.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
All right, let's go 2021. Number 1, number 3, number 4, number 16.
This is really random.
Again, this is kind of the point. 2022, number 1, number 12.
Okay.
Then 2023, all we have so far is number 1. And then 2024, all we have so far is number 4.
Yeah, I changed my mind. You need that number 1 pick.
You need that number 1?
You need that number 1
You need that number 1. Every number 1 hits.
Yeah.
Except for last year, or 2024 with Reece Sachet.
Yeah, people were kind of roasting him too. And he's going to be an NBA player. But the Anthony Bennett thing doesn't even count because I always say this about Jamarcus Russell. They needed a quarterback. The Raiders did. So they went and got a quarterback. The other quarterbacks didn't. That year, that draft class didn't hit either. Anthony Bennett was out of nowhere, right? If you miss on somebody that everyone has slotted, then the miss hurts you, but as socially and culturally around the league, right? You don't get clowned because we all kind of missed. They're just on your team.
Also, that entire draft class was pretty garbage.
Yeah.
Except for 15 Giannis and 27 Rudy Gobert.
Oh, see, is somebody going to say, oh, they missed on Giannis?
That one, though, that old Magic GM is still running around saying, they told us to pick Giannis at 2 and they wouldn't let me.
Enough.
Exactly.
Right? It's just enough. I can't stand those stories. I was making fun of the Warriors about it because they have somehow the Warriors do it with Anthony Edwards when they could not get Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Steve Kerr told him he didn't care enough about basketball.
Steve Kerr called him trash, and somebody said, man, they should have drafted him. Brother, you couldn't have.
Yeah, he was the first pick. But going back to this point, like, yes, number 1 picks seem to always hit, but the Kings got one of those number 12 guys. There's number 12. There's number 16s. There's number 21s. There's number 13s. Like every year.
Halliburton.
There's one of those guys. Exactly. The Kings literally drafted one of them.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy because it's called a lottery. And when you read off numbers like that, it reminds me of playing the lottery.
Yeah.
Right? Every season, you don't know what number is going to come up. 1 always comes up.
Yeah.
But 1, 3, and 7. 1, 4,
2,
and 12.
Yeah.
And the Kings actually have hit on 2.
Yeah.
Because I would say Halliburton, we're not counting De'Aaron Fox, but not to not count De'Aaron Fox. Before this exercise, I'm just saying after De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, they hit a rare hit at 12, and they hit on Keegan, even much to a lot of fans' chagrin, and they still tricked it off.
Yeah. But the Kings, Monty McNair in his first shot did the hardest thing there is to do in mostly sports, but I'll specifically say the NBA. Draft an all-NBA player in the middle of the draft. It is the hardest thing to do. The last 6 years so far, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can kind of count Jalen Williams 5. Like
That's probably why he still has a job.
Who?
Monty.
I mean, Monty is an executive of the year. He did the hardest, and now granted he traded away that thing, but he did the hardest thing to do, which is hit on a star.
I have a joke that I probably shouldn't say, but if you're Monty, are you just writing whatever? Are you just denying?
You're just
denying everything, right? If I'm Monty,
they forced me to do it.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to move Halliburton. You read that? You read the Athletic article. I drafted Halliburton. Did I want to move him? Hell no.
He did. He was again, this is rehashing, but he was under pressure to make the playoffs because he only had a 3-year contract, so he had to cash in.
No, I'm throwing everybody. That was not my decision. I never wanted to move Halliburton.
By the way, if we remove the names, do you want to know those numbers that we were talking about? 13 was Tyler Hero. The first 12 was Tyrese Halliburton. The 21 was Tyrese Maxey, who's just a chucker.
Enough.
16 was Alperen Şengün.
Wow. He's another one I think somebody could have got, right? Hey, we could have had Şengün.
But again, the Rockets, the Rockets, quote-unquote, whiffed on Jalen Green. Jalen Green's not a bad player, but he was not worth the number 2 pick they got him at.
No. And then you have Hanson Yang.
Yeah, Yang Hansen, too. He's hanging around. Maybe he'll be the next Şengün.
Well, here's the thing, though. It takes a while to develop. Is he going to develop on the on the Blazers? I don't know, but
you were ready to call Klingon trash last year, and now he looks.
I just don't like I'm not a traditional center at this point. I've moved on. A traditional center to me,
you've evolved.
Because look at it. I don't like Klingon. I don't like Zach Edey. Now Zach Edey shoots threes, so now I like him.
Just wait till Klingon comes out here shooting.
Everyone besides Sacramento with whoever they have. Well, actually, Eubanks takes them.
Precious took one.
They be taking them.
Maxime hit one.
But Maxime, he stretches the floor. You know what these classic centers are to me? They are the stuck in the mud quarterbacks. I don't like that. I've moved on.
But
I need to have a little wiggle.
If one of them's Jared Goff, though, you can work with that.
No, not when he wears gloves.
That's right. You're not a Jared
Ever
Goff.
since he wore gloves, the guy, he's just not the same.
Yeah, I guess my overarching point is there are no bad answers in the lottery. I just would not be so laser focused on we have to get one of these guys this year.
But here's the thing. I think it's tough in a season like this. In a season like this, you have to look forward to something, and it'll just build and build and build. Right now, Kyle, specifically, it's a tough spot because we're all waiting. Once it happens, right? Once the blow-up happens, I think people will still be interested in the lottery, of course, but you'd also be interested in what the team is doing. That goes back to what the heck we're supposed to feel tonight, right? I know what Doug wants to feel, but this team has an expiration date. We don't know when it is, but there's an expiration date. So how are you supposed to, 7 o'clock comes around, you sit down, and you're going to watch a team that you know is not going to be here. You know what it's like? It's not even like a bowl game. It's like a bowl game with an interim coach. It's not even like that because you could still hire the coach. It's just weird. It's just weird. So I don't blame fans for fixating on the draft all season, but I definitely don't blame them right now where Neek is your draft pick right now is getting 9 minutes.
Yeah, I guess it's just I don't think the tunnel vision on the draft pick is not the right strategy because no matter how bad you finish, your odds are not great that you're going to get any of these guys, right? It's a lottery for a reason, and the flattened odds make it so that you've got to stick around in this thing for a long time. Even the Dallas Mavericks now, the Mavericks are going to be in the lottery again, trying to find the next guy to pair with Cooper Flagg. So while it would be awesome if you get one of those picks, I just think it's hard to your point with will they be happy with the 4th pick to just have the relief. You're going to get a great player with the 4th pick, but whether you get the first pick, well, I shouldn't say the first pick, whether you get the 3rd pick or the 5th pick, it's not going to dramatically change your outcome in the short term. I think whoever you get, you have a chance to develop that player into a star, the same way they had the chance to develop Keegan into a star if they had prioritized his development.
And now, I guess we wait. We wait. And the reality is some fans, they're going to wait in different ways. Some of you are still going to be locked in, and we appreciate you. Some of you are going to say, and people have DM'd me, and I always appreciate it. People have messaged me and said, Allen, I love you, but it's tough right now. And I said, look, hey, I'm going to be here, okay? We signed on the dotted line. We're going to be here. And I do think we won't have to wait that much longer for something. That's all we need. Something. DeRozan. Something. Could it be Zack Lavine? I tease it. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you hanging in the bounds. And that is how we enter the Dirty 30s. Zack Lavine, Niner game, Kings game. Can we get it all done in the last 30 minutes of the show? Kyle's sweating already. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now for the last 2 years, I've been sharing the great experience I've had being a customer of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the sales department to the service department, they're top notch. And now is the perfect time for you to have the MB of Stockton experience. The Mercedes-Benz holiday celebration is on, and that means you can get super low rates on new and certified pre-owned models. Plus, they'll throw in 3 years of prepaid maintenance on select models. They make it easy and affordable for you to drive away in the car of your dreams. And if you have a trade-in, well, they're looking for all vehicles to purchase. Any makes, any models, just holler at my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is the gift that keeps on giving. So take the short drive down I-5 and visit my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And while you're there, tell them Drape sent you.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news. They're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
30 more minutes with ya. Whitey Gleason, they might be at the arena. We're trying to double check. So might have crosstalk. Might be Kyle and I getting you ready for the drive, guys. And a couple texts here 530 says, so will he be traded at the deadline? What can you even get for Keon realistically? Well, according to Sam Amick, he is the most coveted Kings player right now. And that contract is really Keon as a player, of course, but that contract is really helping the situation because you can slot him in. He can play this season, and then you can discuss extending him, whatever the case may be. Or he could say no, right, and hit unrestricted free agency, but maybe you feel confident that you would get a deal done. So I think you could get a first rounder, but yeah, there's definitely there could be a Pascal Siakam thing where, hey, I'll sign with them and I won't hit free agency. I don't know if you'd be able to get there with Keon because that would affect what you could get back for sure. So I think it depends on how things go down. But best case scenario, I think you could get a low to mid first round pick if it's a situation where Keon says, yeah, I'm not going to hit free agency. So then a team feels like, cool, we're getting him at a discount this season, and then we're getting to hold on to him. So we will know more as this thing unfolds as far as Keon is concerned. So the injury report, just Domantas Sabonis, who is out for the Kings, and then for the Timberwolves, Terrence Shannon Jr., who is questionable with a foot. Feels like he hasn't really played all season long. So for the Timberwolves, if they get him back, I think that would be good for him. He had some great moments during the playoffs last season. But, yeah, the Kings to me, as we hit the dirty 30, the Kings to me, there's just a lot of what are we supposed to feel? How do you want us to feel? That's what I would have asked Scott Perry. And I think Sam did in a sort of way, or Scott Perry kind of invited it. But it's what do you want the Kings fans to feel while we wait? Right? What are we supposed to feel while we wait? So the Zack Lavine part, I know I've been teasing it. We're going to get deeper in this tomorrow, but I did want to pay off the tease at least in a small way right now. Yeah, so going back to what Sam Amick said about Zack Lavine, the reality is, and this was a bit surprising to me, because I think normally it would say Zack Lavine, who's expected to pick up his $49 million player option, and Kyle and I have been joking for months, right? This is our running joke, breaking news. Zack Lavine has just picked up his player option. We do it with people when there's a ridiculous amount of money waiting for them on the side. But Sam Amick, as he is breaking down everyone, he gets to Zack Lavine and he says that it is not a foregone conclusion, right? He says league sources have no clarity as to whether he'll pick up his player option for next season, $48.9 million. Now, the first thought is, Allen, why in the world would he turn down $48.9 million? We are not going to get in the weed on taxes here. We're not going to do it. But if there is a team out there, right, where there would be just similar to what Kyrie did, and there is a restructure possibility out there, he could turn it down, go to maybe somewhere with a bit softer taxes. We know Orlando, and they're always looking for shooters. We could do a 3-year deal at a lower price point, and you're settled in there. Because here's the other thing if you're Zack Lavine. If it doesn't look like the Kings, think about it if you're Zack Lavine right now. Zack Lavine has said that Chicago is his home or was his home. These guys hate getting traded mid-season, okay? And if Zack Lavine is in a decent spot because nobody wants to trade for that contract, it kind of helps because he can control his destiny a bit more. So he knows he's going to be in Sacramento this season. And then he goes to his agent because we know he can make this money, right? Zack Lavine, he just had another kiddo that was last season right before the trade deadline. Zack Lavine could say, all right, well, I could take the $48.9 million now and then be in another situation, be looking around, right, after a year because the Kings are not, based on what we believe and what's coming out, the Kings are going to say, thank you for your time, Zach. Or I could get ahead of it, decline I could decline the $49 million, take a 3-year deal somewhere, maybe even 4 years, I don't know. Take a 3-4 year deal somewhere else and say, hey, honey, hey, sweetie, our family, and I know some of the families don't travel with them, but we're locked in here. Obviously, you can always get traded, but we're locked in here on a long-term deal instead of taking a larger amount of money annually with the Kings, but be awaiting possibly getting traded because you'd be an expiring contract at that point, or at the end of the season having to go through the process anyway. So the argument for him to do it is, well, what's one more year? Just take the $49 million. That's a fine argument. And that's probably the argument that I would give him. But he could control his destiny and move on. He could control his destiny now and not worry about taking that $49 million. But because it's expiring, getting traded again, and then after getting traded again, having to hit free agency anyway. So he could say, and I'm not, pocket watching, I think I've made enough money. I think I can turn this down because it's not as if he's not going to make money. Somebody's going to give him that contract, and I can control my own destiny and know where we're headed. Is he going to do it? I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that because if you're looking at a 3-year deal, I think that he could play, in, even if he gets traded, okay, who cares? We're expecting to get traded because we're an expiring contract or not, and we're already preparing for free agency. So he can look at it two ways. I still think that he is going to pick up the option because that's just a lot of money. But the fact that it's not a foregone conclusion yet does give you a thought process because, if you're the Kings, you're feeling like the Niners with Brandon Ayuk. You're saying, oh, you're walking away from 48. We don't got to worry about paying you $48 million. The books open up at that point. I still think he signs it, Kyle, but it is interesting that I feel like I've seen Sam Amick write something before in a similar situation where it would typically say who is expected to sign the player option. So the fact that he did not say who is expected to sign the player option means that Zack Lavine is looking at this probably saying, look, I don't want to say no to the $49 million, but we can control so much more if we do, and we're still going to get paid.
Yeah, you still got to make it worth his while, whoever's signing him, right? So it's got to be who's the team that values him in that 30 to 40 or 35 to $40 million price range or more potentially. What I think is really interesting, though, about this free agency class specifically is that if he opts out, he's going into it with Austin Reeves, both of whom are kind of the same player at this point.
I think people would like Austin more, but just playmaking-wise.
But again, if Austin goes to insert team here, do the Lakers say, well, now we need a shooter at the 2 position? Does that open a suitor? Does that take away a suitor? I just think it's a very interesting free agency to go into free agency because him and Austin Reeves would both command the largest markets.
Well, I'll tell you what, with Austin Reeves dropping that 50 burger against the Kings, I'll tell you what right now, as our Raptors fanatic, logical Raptors fanatic is saying, Optimistic Allen is wrong on this one. I'm not saying, I don't think he will walk away from $48 million. I'm saying that it's interesting that Sam Amick isn't hearing from league sources that it is a foregone conclusion because I would have assumed that it would have been a foregone conclusion. But I'll tell you this much, if Zack Lavine doesn't start playing better, he will be taking that option. Because if he doesn't raise his value and the market says, hey, you're worth $30 million, $32 million a year, relatively speaking, of course, Zack Lavine is going to say, well, then I'm taking the 48 right now.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't play better, this whole thing, it was a conversation, I'd argue, at the beginning of the season when he was balling out. But if he doesn't play better, yeah, I'm just going to go get my insurance policy of $48 million.
Yeah, if this is purely a money situation, and we can do the experiment again, I know we've done it before, but if he were to opt in and then hit free agency in 2027, your best guess, what do you think he would get AAV?
Man, I don't know,
best guess. In a year and a half from now, if he were to hit free agency.
I don't. Am I crazy to think I don't think he's getting 35 a year?
Yeah, probably.
I think he's getting 30 a year.
Okay, if we say 30, 3-year deal,
yeah,
then you're looking at $90 million Add that to the $49 million. You're looking at 3 years, $129 million he would make over 4 years, essentially. So then he would have to opt out and take a deal at that same dollar point.
Right, so disperse that $48 million to each of those 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's $138 million.
And I don't think anybody is giving, wouldn't that be?
So just doing the quick math here, that would be about $35 million a year on a 4 year. So opt out and sign for 4 years, $140.
See, when you say it like that, though, I do think somebody out there would give him $35 million. I do.
Would give him for 4 years?
I think so. Maybe I'm just talking myself into it.
But that's assuming he's a $30 million player.
Right. That's
in
assuming.
2027.
Right. He just averaged 24 on essentially 50, 40, 90. If he ain't that, nobody's going to pay. Nobody's going to give him 4. I think the bigger problem is not the 35 AAV. I think the bigger problem is the 4 years.
Yeah. So then let's make it 2 years. If he were to sign a 2-year deal in 2027, what do you think he would make? 35 a year?
Yeah, I still think 35.
So then you would be looking at a 3-year, $40 million a year.
I can't do that.
No one's just signing up for that next summer.
I don't think so.
That's interesting though, because I think.
But he's not playing well right now. So if you were to ask me that at the beginning of the season, maybe I would have had a different answer.
So that's why it's such an interesting conversation. Because if you ask me, would someone pay Austin Reeves 3 years, $120 this summer? I would say yes.
But I think Austin Reeves is viewed as better than Zack Lavine.
Which is why.
And he's younger.
Which is why it would be so fascinating if Lavine and Reeves were the two biggest free agents on the market this summer.
I don't think so because.
I mean, minus LeBron.
I don't think so because it would be Austin Reeves gets this, and then I'm giving Zack Lavine $5 to $10 million less than Austin Reeves.
Whoever loses out on Austin Reeves.
Yeah. You're getting 5 to 10 less. You're older. You've been injured more.
But then if you're Zach, you just take the $49 million.
This is going to be Zach's Tobias Harris moment. You got your money. Now let's get you back to market value.
That's crazy. But you're right, but that's crazy.
That is the truth. Don't get mad at me. All right, Kayla Anderson, Whitey Gleason, of course they're in the building to close out the Dirty 30. We got prop talk, not just for the Kings, but also the Niners. Will Schmal and Miles stay hot? Will Whitey Gleason stay hot? It's all coming up next on the Allen Stiles Show.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Get more value for your money with the new owners at Elk Grove Chevrolet. Right now, supplier pricing is available to everyone, making it easier than ever to drive home in your dream car. Check out the amazing Black Friday specials online, like $5,000 off on the 2025 Colorado. Choose from a wide selection of new and used Chevrolets, plus flexible financing and expert maintenance. Visit them today and experience the difference. MyElkGroveChevrolet.com, where savings and service come standard.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's going on for the big Black Friday sales event.
Well, they say you got to finish strong, so that's what we're doing at Hoblet. Right now, you can save up to $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties.
I want to make sure you meant to say all heavy duties.
That's what I said. $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties, with some starting as low as $48,995. It's savings like this that make Hoblet one of the top Ram dealers in America. Plus, with over 400 new heavy-duty Rams available, your new Ram is waiting at HobletDodge.com.
Don't miss your chance to search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$14,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Laramie and Rebels, up to $4,500 factory rebates and $10,000 dealer discounts. 5 of this net savings, $48,995 net price on 2025 Ram 2500 Tradesmen's. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory cash, $500 on the job upfit for eligible upfit. VIN number 525142. See dealer for details.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
I grew up in the purple glow, Arco Thunder in my bones, back when 2002 felt like...
Kyle, why would you tell me we only have 8 minutes and then play this when you know I gotta let this go, baby? You know I gotta let this go, baby. Kayla Anderson, everyone. Whitey Gleason, everyone. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm at the CMA Awards.
That's right.
So we light the beam.
So good. We finally saw the beam. It works.
I know.
Apparently.
I went to bed before it lit, though.
Okay, well.
Oh, geez, Kyle.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Spoiled the moment.
I know. That's what he does. It's what he does. Gen
I still haven't
Zs,
seen
they don't, they don't get it. They think they get it, but they don't get it.
Like it.
What's your 1A, your 1B tonight, Alan? See if I can get you in trouble. 49er game or Kings game?
Oh.
I got to watch the Niners.
Oh.
I said it out loud. King's been on my laptop for the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had Texans, well, because it was prime, but I had Texans Bills.
That was a good game.
It was a good game. It was a good game,
I didn't
but
think it would be that good.
I really like that we were spending some time on wide receivers with the Brandon Ayuk thing. Really like Tet McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
Really like him. I do think the Niners are good at shutting down the main guy. So Diamondor, I don't see the Panthers doing it, but somebody said they think it's going to be a shootout tonight. Now, Schmallen Miles is allergic to unders. So
you're allergic to Schmallen is allergic to a lot of people, players, and teams.
No, let me tell you this right now. Schmallen Miles had a good weekend.
Okay.
I want to thank Darnell Mooney once again.
You do or Schmallen does?
Schmallen wants to.
Taylor's right. It's so confusing.
And Schmallen really wants to thank Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Westbrook, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of the Niners shutting down top receivers, they really shut down Brandon Ayuk.
I still don't know. Is he still mad about the Super Bowl?
There's been drama for a while.
I feel like there's been so much to come out, but we still don't necessarily know what happened. And I guess people were saying that the Niners got buyer's remorse. They were immediately trying to trade him before he got injured. Then he got injured, and they were looking for any reason. And I believe the reason he's not fighting it is because he knows, as we know, we all sign contracts, contractually he will lose, right? He did not show up to the meetings. They put it in the contract. What's the point? There's nothing to fight. So it feels like that is what's happening here.
Yeah, your buddy Rob Stats Guerrera says there's a split. He says Kyle is like, yeah, he's the player. I need the player.
Right.
But all the money people are like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just don't know, to be fair, and I'm probably on the side of the money people, no clue how to evaluate the wide receiver position. Right.
Yeah.
Now. There's just so many. There's so many. All right. Speaking of so many, we have so many things to do here to close out the show. Let's guess the spread.
Your segue strikes
Kyle,
again.
are we guessing the spread on the Kings?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can do Niners if you want.
No. Let's. I don't want to get you in trouble. This is the Dirty 30, and we're running out of time here. All right. Guessing the spread on the Kings.
Minnesota +7.
Anthony Edwards is playing?
Well, +7 would mean they're underdogs, Whitey.
-7.
7 at home?
Everyone's playing except Sabonis and maybe Terrence Shannon.
Oh, I forgot about Sabonis. Yeah, Whitey's probably on. I'll say 6.5. Timberwolves.
I'll say 4.5.
I'll go Timberwolves 8.5.
Okay.
They pull it up here. Timberwolves 10.5.
See, man, no. See, this is the time.
I always try to just
Doug
give him a
needs to
little
be
respect.
listening. Doug needs to be listening tonight.
I know.
Stop with the disrespect, Vegas. Every time I say that, they lose by 20.
I was just going to say, then it ends up being worse.
Didn't Dave say they're the least spread covering team in the league?
Yeah.
No, third.
Third
they're
worst.
Third. Okay.
They're third worst. They were at 28%. Okay? All right. So you guys getting everyone ready for the game tonight? It's coming up on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're
we have a
talking
surprise guest.
Well, Frankie's going to come on, so that'll help us get ready for the show.
Huh. Frankie's going to be on your show.
Yeah, he said he would.
Oh, okay.
We bring the bone.
Just making sure I heard that right.
Sorry, I was
Should we
waiting
not be?
for this.
No. It's fine.
He said he wouldn't do
Wait,
anything.
what's going on? Am I missing something? Oh, okay.
No, he's been around today. He's been around the building, but
I thought he'd be busy. He's like, no, I think he's never too busy for you, Whitey. So.
Huh.
Yeah?
Okay. It looks like Allen is like spinning.
Okay.
Yeah, is there a problem?
No.
Would you rather we not talk to Frankie?
No, I would.
For some reason?
I'm going to be listening.
Okay.
Can't wait. I'm locked in. Okay. Let's get to Broad Talk here. Let's start with the Niners. It's very simple for me. I'm literally going up against George Kittle tonight. I'm down by 2 points. It's Ricky. I have Ricky Pearsall.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, fantasy. I can do
Your
fantasy.
fantasy.
Yeah.
So I have Ricky Pearsall. They have George Kittle. So I got to go Ricky Pearsall, 43.5 receiving yards. He had, count them, 0 last game. So I think they're going to feed Ricky a little bit.
Pretty Ricky. George Kittle's on a run right now.
Yeah.
Like he's eating, and I think he's going to continue to eat. So, give me at least. Give me 2 tutties.
Whoa. Okay. He's at 55. His yards haven't been crazy. He was at 67. He did hit last week. He's at 55.5 yards. And yeah, he's always good for a touchdown. So I'm probably cooked. Whitey?
Juwan Jennings yards? I don't know what it is, but I'm taking
46.5.
I'll take it.
So you're basically going against me because there's no way they both hit.
We're all going against each other.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I would go, by the way, I don't see Tet. I think Tet McMillan, I don't know. I think the Niners.
Shut him down?
I think so. The Niners are good at that. So we'll see. So you have all that. All right, Kyle, we got to do the Kings as well. Is Keon going to play?
They've pulled his props, just in case you're wondering.
Oh.
What does that mean?
They're not even offering Keon Ellis anymore.
Is he going to be? What is that? Breaking news.
Wow.
It's always once I turn this mic off, the breaking news happens. Well,
I just think he's not going to play. It's not even like he's hurt.
Well,
But that's weird. 2 nights or 2
I think that's weird. I think, and Sam Amick, most coveted asset I want to protect my most coveted asset.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying? Like, whoa.
Read
You'll
the
have to
tea
tune
leaves.
into the Hey, the smoke signals are there. Read the tea leaves.
Maybe Frankie has the info for us.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm going to fall for it. I don't know why. It's his first team. I'm going to do the thing that Kayla said she wasn't going to do.
Oh.
Give me Zack Lavine 20 and a half. Just give me Zack Lavine 20 and a half.
I kind of forgot that was his first team.
Did you see that apparently, according to Sam, Zack Lavine isn't sure if he's going to opt in?
Oh, we were just talking about that, yeah.
So they need to get the guy, whoever it was in Denver that dissuaded Russ from opting in, hire him away, put him on Zach.
Yes.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
All right? That's your job here.
Yeah.
Tell him we're not going to play him.
We were trying
Whatever
to,
it takes.
we talked ourselves into it a bit, but I don't know. It does give himself a little bit of control back, but you can still get that control in $48 million. So
yes.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. All right, Whitey.
Yeah.
Who you got?
This is Kings?
Yeah.
Kings.
Yeah. Do you have one? I'm at it.
I'm DeMar. I guess DeMar's feeling himself again.
Yeah. There's an obvious one.
I'm a pizza guy tonight, by the way. I'm 11 and
You're
a
a
half.
Malik
I can't trust his minutes. I can't do it.
Dennis Schroeder's going off again tonight.
Okay, I was going to say the obvious pick here.
What
it's Keegan 13 and a half.
Oh.
We know he's going to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually going, sorry, Zach. I got to go Keegan 13 and a half. Points?
Yeah, 13 and a half.
That's light work.
He's getting a lot of shots now.
That's what I'm
relatively
saying.
speaking.
What's the point rebound assist combo?
Let me find that, Kyle.
He's frustrated about something.
20 and a half. He hasn't been rebounding like crazy, though. I would just go points. But go ahead. It's your life.
I said I'm a pizza guy.
Okay.
Malik Monk, baby.
Hey, I hope he gets on the floor.
I'm
All
a
right.
pizza guy.
Let's let those dogs out.
Who let the dogs out?
Without Keon, I mean, they only play 4 people.
You could pick Devin Carter for the 15th time this year.
No.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? Just give me Zack Lavine for dog.
Precious.
He's not going to play.
Precious Achiuwa's not going to play?
I'm saying Keegan's back.
The big sneeze is still going to be out there, Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Precious for Whitey. Kayla.
Neek.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't play much either.
Gotta get on the court.
I know, but I just keep wishing
They
and
don't
hoping.
play a bench. So
I
that's the
know.
problem. We can't do dog segment with no bench.
That's very true.
All right. Well, they're always starters.
Or Reno. What should I go?
I'm going Keegan, by the way.
Okay. They're always starters. Kayla Anderson and Whitey Gleason.
Look at that.
That's a
segue.
3.5.
Segue
Strikes again. 3.5.
Just downgraded it because you tried to upgrade it. 1.5.
That's a 3.5 on the scale. They're coming up next. Is it Ramsey behind the glass?
It
for
is.
you?
Yes.
Ramsey behind the glass for you today as well. Thank you to Kyle. Thank you to the callers, texters, Sack chatters. Thank you, Frank Cardicelli, for stopping by and literally just stopping by, not being on the show. You can hear him on The Drive, guys.
Yeah.
And until tomorrow, secure the bed. Light the beam.
Let him in. Don't forget about podcast.
Don't forget my podcast. This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery.